Hey, let me, okay. Man, was I in a rush. Everybody, hey, Donna, catch my breath. T-Bell, Kiko, Cool Gamer, hey, Kirks. Hey, Liz. Ellie, hey. If Audacity doesn't show up, I'm going to need a volunteer. And the criteria is very workable. I just need someone, I think. I just came up with this like 30 minutes ago. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Web Sleuths. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's a forum. And I used to love that forum. Everybody sharing ideas, and you kind of have a record of it. I would love to do that here. I have like the starting off point, and then people think it's like I like competition as far as I'm fine with someone pointing out where I'm wrong, because then, both of us can be right, or vice versa. But you're not getting really, with an echo chamber, you don't learn anything. So I wanted to do kind of like that style where I'm going to talk, and then the people in the chat kind of crowd sleuth. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. You can drop things in the back chat by using the link, and you don't have to come on. You can just drop a link and then tell me what your objection is. Or come up and have a conversation, but not a long one. Because, 6 hours is kind of long. And if anybody knows what I just said, that'd be great. Hey, Christina. Hey, voice. Angela. What is with burnt toe? She's being a real bitch. I'm going to have to say that doesn't, I didn't, oh, she was on tonight. I didn't watch her tonight. I mean, she's being a real bitch. And anyway, so I was in watching Deets, Chasing, and Gavel Geeks. I just love Gavel Geeks. And I love Chasing. And I wanted to be civil by going in there. We all know what happened over the last few months. But, if there were two people, I would, even with bygones being bygones, this case is so interesting. Hey, are you going to come up? Let me know when you want me. Okay, I see what you're saying. I need to get the link to the. I can put it here. Ain't nobody going to steal your link. Anyway, so I was in their chat. There you go. You can grab that Audacity, and you can just sit backstage too. You can still listen. I was oh yeah, that was the mildest one. Kirks. Anyway, so I was listening, and I kind of commented a couple of times saying, like, I didn't see that, or where did you get that, or whatever. And if you're going to do, like the three of them did a really good job of, like, details of, like, the people that were supposed to be in the house and all that. And it's good for reference, to go back and kind of see. I'm sorry, I'm just out of breath. But you can go back and reference to each person. I don't know that they all matter, but it's still a good reference. It's the same they basically took it from Sleuthy Goosey, her spreadsheet. So here, and one of my points is this. No matter how much you say, oh, I'm not going to have a bias. I'm just going to give the facts with no bias. It's impossible. It's impossible for me. It's impossible for the ladies over there. Um, and with over 1,000 documents, you don't have time to look at each and every one. And, if we had 5 documents, we'd be taking apart every line. Oh, Bertie. Hey, Nicole. We take apart nothing. Look at the Wells case. We took apart nothing. And in this case, there's so much that you just kind of feel like and you don't even remember where you're taking it from. You don't know if you heard it on the news. You don't know if you read it in a document, as they prove, not intentionally on this. Now, one of the people, and I've thrown so much together since my Lucille Ball idea. One of the things is, like when I used to research, and I got out of it for a few years. Hey, Amber. If you're going to cite someone's work, like the very first of their video, they said, well, we're not going to go over that. They didn't say Turtle Boy, but they inferred Turtle Boy. We're not going to even talk about him. Well, you kind of have to, because that's where the bullshit's coming from. So if he's saying bullshit, and even the defense documents and their experts notoriously are bullshit. Once they get to the courtroom, not so much, because they get, pretty much vetted. It's called voir dire. I don't think I can say it right. Voir dire. But they're not going to have that same. I guarantee you, the expert that the defense used to go over the phone records is not going to be used in court. And I'll tell you why if I can find it. Where did I put it? I'm going to tell you, and then I'll back it up and find it. The company just started like in April, I believe. They put up a website. On Twitter, they had 2 followers. Then you look at the name of, then they say they're with this other big company. And it's really like, hey, WJ Will. And the big company is a membership. You become a member, just like in Chris McDonough's foundation. You become a member, and then you can put it beside your name. So, and again, I'm going to play this one video. Audacity, you can come up anytime. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ramble on like I do. And then Audacity is going to read comments or questions that you have. So for instance, I'm going to kind of do a reaction to chasings from yesterday. Not a lot, but just a few things. And then there's a question, well, which one was right? Well, if you know the answer to that, or if you have something you want to, we're sleuthing, and I'd like to know, I really like someone that's opposing my opinion. This damn guy with his motorcycle. Oh my God. I think he does that on purpose. Okay, Audacity, you can come up now because I'm not going to be able to see. Well, we have to get together again. Do you know this case well? Oh God, I'm so tired. It is live sleuthing. Yeah, I'm not explaining it right, but if you've ever been to Web Sleuth, it's kind of like that. One person gives information, another person gives information. Somebody may say, well, what is your source for that? Probably why I'm such a stickler for your source. And then you look up their source because you still don't believe it. You find out the source is full of crap. And so that's what started me. Hey, Audacity. Oh, that's a cute dog. What are you doing? You can't bang your fork to communicate. You have to talk. Hills has forgotten the links. Do you mind posting them for me?
I need to figure out the sound
Oh,
here.
here you are. Nicole, I've forgotten the links. Which links, honey? I'm not. Oh, I should put the link though if people are going to. God damn it! That means I have to go find my live. Okay, well we're not going to do that yet anyway. Um, but I mean you can. Yeah, true. If you're going to put it in the back chat, let me see if I can find my. I don't know what the problem is with this. How about we do it? See, you hear him? He's doing that on purpose. Did Dolly do his Turtle Island last night? You're muted, Audacity, in case you don't know. And there it is. You're muted, Audacity, in case you don't know. Oh, so I'm going to echo. It never expected. Is that what you? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have it. All I have is right up here. Oh, I guess I could get it from the back. Here, I'm going to put the link. God, asshole. I would only appreciate it if I were in the back of it. Okay. Pin message. So it'll, it's a work in progress. It'll, Jasmina, it'll get easier to understand. No, we don't. You don't like it's. I can even almost smell the gas. Dolly did something went wonky with it last night, though. He did a live today. Oh, okay. So I haven't been voted off yet. Brenda, my gut feeling is gut feeling, but you'll see why I have that gut feeling. Okay, take off. Bye. My gut feeling is I think there was an altercation. I think everybody had probably gone pretty much to bed because after after the one kid pulled up to get his sister and then took off, I think that was like 12:45 or whatever time it was. Well, no one else went outside until Jen McCabe and her family left. And there's a real weird part to that timeline. It's 6 minutes from the 34, and I'll forget names. I will forget a name in a minute. So the street they were on, the house. From there to their house, 12 Cottage Drive, how did I remember that, is 6 minutes. It took them almost 30 when they left. But I know they had to drop off. That's right. They had to drop off 2 kids. But so how would that be possible for them to have an altercation and then Jen just not say anything? Oh, I'm still on Turtle Island. Yay me. The way it would be possible, in my opinion, speculation only, is if Jen didn't want her husband to find out about the fuck shit that might be going on. Because she is so, if she's not complicit, then she's got the worst luck. Because they can throw everybody else under the bus. But for instance, when we watch Chasing, we're going to call them the girls, which I hope is not offensive. When we watch that, she knows. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chasing and Deets, they are dead set. Audacity, you are still on mute. They are dead set that his body was on the right side of the flat.
I think I'm going to jump down and then come up with my phone.
Well, you sound fine. Is there a problem? I mean, you can mute until, I get into.
Okay, it was echoing, so I wasn't sure.
I don't hear anything. I was echoing. I echoed when I went and found my link. It's up to you. You can mute and wait until I'm done.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I'll explain. Like, I don't even know what we're doing. So what I'm trying to do is, if someone says, no, that's wrong, I don't want to be rude to them.
All right, no, as long as it's not echoing, it's okay. It was echoing really bad. I thought it was me, so I was trying to figure it out.
No, it was me. You're good. Okay, so where was I? So Jen, boy, she looks suspicious. Oh no, that was what the docs we read stated. What voices? Tell me again. Wait. The docs. See, this is what I'll do that I can't do. I'll start reading the text. I don't know what voices is talking about, but if I didn't go back and find the documents where it said where the body was located, but I watched the prosecutor say where it was located, and I watched Turtle Boy do his test to where it was located. It would not be in his interest to. He was between the flagpole. Okay, yeah. That's, I don't know where it came from. Hey, B-Chin, you know what's going on, dude? What's up?
Okay, now you continue. I'll just listen and I'll chime in.
Okay, you got to play by the rules because it's an experiment. Anyway, okay, so for instance, where they're saying all three of them, not all three of them, because Gavel Geeks didn't know, but Deeks insisted that she has all these documents and it all shows on the other side. And Chasing was less married to it, but kind of that she had read. She was like right over there on the right side of the flagpole, which I've never read. I've never seen.
I thought it was by the fire hydrant, right? I thought the body was by the fire hydrant. Yeah.
Well,
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, but it's just kind of the way it's condescending that, well, you need to read the documents. Well, you need to also show the documents. I mean, if you have it, then show it. I don't want to say anything I can't back up. And God knows I'm trying to it just gets confusing, and I get it with the documents. But that's what I don't want to do. If you have, hey, Queen Bee, I want the back and forth because there's over 1,000 documents. We're not going to know all of it.
Yeah, they did they basically just did a timeline of events and just talked about the characters. And I don't think they didn't really get too far into their stream, like into the whole thing.
No. And see what I said at the beginning of this is it's so funny because no matter how much we say, we're not going to get in the weeds. I'm just going to it's just going to be facts. No, we're not going to talk about our bias. But you do. And it doesn't matter how much you think you don't. If you have a bias, somehow it's going to come in there. And yeah, they were doing a timeline. And what I was saying is that's awesome to go back and look at. But if the people in the house aren't going to be part of the trial, then I don't really see, except for Jen, because she's like.
Yeah, she's the main focus point at that point because the prosecution has said that she hasn't deleted multiple texts.
She's right up front.
So she's a very important witness. So I can understand her being an important witness to the case because also, what was it? The tow truck driver that said he didn't see a car or something like that. Not tow truck. I mean, not tow truck. I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that was really funny when they did that. And then today I went back and found where Turtle Boy was talking about him and telling someone about his interview with him. And it's really funny when you put them together. So
yeah, I mean, like it's pretty clear to me because I have this image in my head how the whole thing going to happen. I mean, how do you explain away the glass shards on the bumper? Like,
hey, Glory.
Like how do you like the cocktail glass on the bumper? I mean, how do you explain that she basically changed her story twice. From originally,
Yeah,
I
but there's
was
more than there's
it's
so
so
there's like
much.
there is so much, and every day I find something new. And today I found something I think you're going to laugh at. But
What?
what the expert for the defense, the guys that did their analysis, their
You mean the dog bite analysis of the
no,
medical
the guy
exam?
that
Oh,
analyzed the phones,
okay.
their big expert witness. They started their business. It looks like they put up their website like in April.
Oh
They have
shit.
2 followers on Twitter, 2, and then they have I don't know 50, if even that, on Facebook. They like just started, and they do this. The guy says, "Oh, I'm with this." He's a member of a foundation. He's like a member of a group that you pay to be a member of. And then the USA is what he says he owns, and it's nothing. Like his first documents it's USA Forensics, and when he's doing this case, it's USA 001.
Mm-hmm.
It's his first case. But there's a lot of stuff in his analysis that you have to think. Like I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you. I'll show everybody.
Yeah, I'm just like I was watching a little bit of the chasing stuff, and it's nice they had the diagram. I appreciate the diagram; it looked nice and everything, but they didn't really get through a lot in 3 hours. Like
It's hard. It's hard to
yeah.
get through it. It really, really is. It's
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think they're probably going to need if they go with that rate, they're probably going to need 3 or 4 live streams at 3 hours apiece.
Oh, I did one in 6 hours and got to Jen. And I'm going to be on Jen again because not just Jen, but that expert witness and where the body was.
Yeah.
And see, now they put the video out, and we may be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe everybody was told wrong but them. I don't know.
Maybe they Cullen Hinton's uncle, lured him into the house, and they threw him. They got him into the basement, beat him up, and then accidentally almost killed him, and no one noticed. And then they wrapped his head around and walked him back up, and then put him right in that spot where everyone says she pulled up, and then took off his shoe and left it there, and then made sure to everyone just go home. And then Proctor just automatically knowing, because he's best friends with them somehow, because he's going to put his neck on line for people who he somewhat knows.
I know, but see, I got my, because I was being a smartass, I got my message removed. But my point is this. So it doesn't even have to be me. Somebody else says, no, because the prosecutor said this. Mm-hmm. They look it up real quick and correct it right there. Or I'm wrong. Yeah. Fuck off. You know what I mean? But correct it on the record. You can't correct it tomorrow. So that's what I was kind of wanting to do is if someone in the chat or you or Audacity, one time when I'm going through this, it's wrong, or it's right, or there's more. Because I want to get opinions. Because that one thing in the phone records really bugs me that guy put out. So let me play this real quick. Mm-hmm. Not this. Let me see where it is before I play it. You go to my mail. You can't see anything I'm doing right now, right?
No, I can't.
Okay. That's good. Okay. And they were also, it's like you have to have the documents or videos or something. Somebody's making noise. I don't know who it is. Somebody's in a wind tunnel. Okay. Present. I don't know what I was just saying. Okay. This is where they found the body. Can you see it?
I see a video. Yeah, I see a video. And then you stop sharing.
Right, because I hear the noise again. Is that me?
I don't hear anything, but
Okay, when Audacity muted, it stopped.
Okay, maybe it's Audacity, the evil dog.
The evil dog.
That's an evil dog. That's an evil dog picture, but anyway.
That's an evil dog?
Yeah, that's an evil dog.
What is it? Okay. Audacity, will you jump down and jump back up while I'm still here? Because I won't see you when I go to the video.
I haven't gone off mute.
Yeah, I think she's good. Maybe it's just me. I'll mute when you're doing your presentation.
Well, it seems like it was when I started it. Here, let me try again. Okay, sounds good. Here we go. I don't have. I don't have. Present. Okay. Let me make it bigger. Okay.
Evidence outside of the residence. The standing on the street, looking to the left of the property, there was a fire hydrant located there. In that area, they located a black Nike sneaker with a white Nike logo along the side, matching that found on the victim's body. In the area of the street where the victim was recovered. In addition, in that same area, they located
now. It sounds like he said in the streets where the victim was recovered.
Yeah,
but all in that area. I'll do it one more time.
That area, they located a black Nike sneaker with a white Nike logo along the side, matching that found on the victim's body. In the area of the street where the victim was recovered. In addition, in that same area, they located two red plastic pieces of a taillight consistent with missing pieces from Miss Reed's black Lexus SUV, as well as one piece of clear plastic piece of a taillight located in the same area, also consistent with the broken taillight on the Lexus SUV. In addition, on the 29th, the Massachusetts Special Emergency Response Team, or CERT, was activated to assist in searching for potential evidence outside of the residence. The standing on the street, looking to the left of the property, there was a fire hydrant located there. In that area, they located a black.
Okay, I repeated this. The thing too about this is they keep saying that Proctor ran over there and planted that red plastic piece of the taillight. There was a blizzard moving in. Those were not the best conditions for people to try to,
Well, you see them with shovels, actually. A bunch of people with shovels going out there trying to find, look for evidence.
They got 23 inches of snow. Like crazy. And when I put in their chat that I thought they'd had 2 feet, I meant I don't know shit about snow. I meant 2 inches, but oh my God, that was, But if you go by, like I said last night, if you're going to go by what someone says, then you have to go by everything they say. You can't pick and choose. And that's the perfect way to show your bias. If you want to believe Karen's right when she says this, but not when she says this.
Yeah, I mean, what also was interesting, maybe they didn't get to that part, but because Karen Reed changed her story twice.
Yeah.
In major ways, major ways. She never said, I remember I read, and I believe she never said the original story that she dropped him off in the driveway. She never said that she saw him walk in the house. She never, that's, and also I would like to point out, everyone talks about the video. Where is the surveillance video of when Karen Reed pulled into her house? Did anyone find that?
No.
We see the one where she backed into there and she's building up her, what would appear an alibi. Where is the video of her pulling in? Why hasn't that been discovered? Why hasn't that been presented from the defense saying, hey, look, she pulled in with this car and it was perfectly, there's no broken taillight or whatnot, So there's a lot of holes in it. Also, her story that she told the Nightline didn't make sense about how she initially drove around for 20 minutes before she even bothered, trying to figure out going to the house that she last dropped him off at. There's just too many inconsistencies. There's too many things this woman has said. And
right. And so you can't believe anything she says. Once someone lies about something trivial, even, the black jacket gets to me, and I promise you by the end of the trial or the middle or whatever, it's going to come up. There's something with the black jacket because it was too much a detail of why she said she parked where she didn't park, according to the Nagel guy. You know, that's another thing that's in this timeline that makes no sense. You know, when he says, so we drove by and the interior light was on and the brake light stayed on. Her, as you know, her SUV is dark tinted windows up until the front, right? So if you're in the passenger side, even of F-51, F-150, you're going to go by. Unless you crane your neck, you're not going to see whether someone's in the passenger seat through the dark film, right? Is it called film? The outside. It had darkened windows. You're not going to see if someone's in the passenger seat until you get past it. You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to be too dark. It's going to be blacked out. So that doesn't matter whether he just saw her and remembers the detail of her 10 and 2. You know, hands on the thing. But that's where she said she parked in front of the driveway to be closer.
If she drove in front of the driveway, you know, why would they be prompting her to pull up behind the car? And she didn't.
And why didn't she do it in the first place if she just dropped them off?
Yeah, I mean, there's inconsistencies in the story. I mean,
and they're mixing up what the prosecutor says she said with the prosecutor changing his story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they mentioned this right here, the things he's saying, that's part of stuff he changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched all the hearings. I mean, like 2 or 3 times, and I haven't heard. All the prosecutor spends time doing is disputing the defense.
Yeah, and a lot of times people say, like, I saw the glare. He was like, well, the prosecution, is not doing a great job. Well, the prosecution doesn't care about the press. His job is to basically get to win the trial. He's not going to go in front of like the media and start talking about his talking points and his strategy. No. He's going to keep it to his chest, and he's going to wait till the trial. He's not going to tell you everything.
And he everything he does is he's addressing the defense. He's not trying to get up there and tell his story. The way he's doing it is by, you know, saying, well, we did send you this. Or, well, the guy says, well, I was on the plane. Then he tries to get subpoenas for.
You know what's interesting? With the hair, did they ever get the hair tested? Because I remember I was watching a hearing from 4 months ago.
He did say that wrong.
Yeah, he did say that wrong. Because I remember I was watching a hearing from 4 months ago that he was asking for the defense to authorize kind of like an authorization to test the hair and to have their expert in the location. And they didn't respond.
Hair or DNA? No, I don't think that was the hair. I think the hair was kind of settled. Because
was it? Okay.
Well, they're saying, was it a human hair? First, it was who did it belong to?
Yeah.
And so I think what they definitely knew, I guess it was a hair, but it didn't belong. They didn't know who it belonged to.
Yeah, they were testing. They wanted to do tests on it, but the defense just they were kind of not being cooperative, and they didn't want to like tell them to have, because they wanted to ask the defense if they wanted to have their expert there to basically be just to be there to make sure everything's copacetic and make sure that everything's, you know, that it's not just biased to one side.
Look at you using the word copacetic.
Copacetic.
I remember when you were reading it. Yeah, I don't remember if it was a hair or not. I know they were trying to arrange for a time to test, and I don't remember if it was that or not.
Yeah.
So let me do. I kind of repeated this. So I'm going to have to put it together at the last minute.
With the missing pieces from Miss Reed's black Lexus SUV, as well as one piece of clear plastic piece of a taillight located in the same area, also consistent with the broken taillight on the Lexus SUV. That she did not, she indicated to the troopers that she did not leave C.F. McCarthy's or enter the Waterfall bar with a glass or drink.
Wasn't that a lie? Didn't they see her leave with it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know they have surveillance video, actually, but you know, whatever. He actually had it. Yeah, they have a surveillance video of them in the bar. Yeah, of them in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I know that John had a glass. I'm trying to figure out what the situation.
Well, he had it when they left, when they left the waterfall.
You know,
they said she walked into
Yeah.
I don't know if they necessarily said she walked out of that CF place, or if it was that she walked into Waterfalls with it. But, you know, even disputing like the minutia of, everybody's seen, she had this many, she poured the shot. How big was the shot? We don't know.
Yeah. She's even lied on Nightline about how many drinks she's had. Oh, I didn't have that many drinks. You know, and then she's lied on TV how many drinks she has.
Video showed 9. Whether they were big or small, or, you know.
If the person's lying about small facts like how much you're drinking, they're going to lie about other things. And it's like, you know, I mean, her story just doesn't make sense.
But it would behoove her, as Betty would say, or, you know, somebody would say,
her.
It would behoove her to be drunk, you know, to say, I blacked out. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, not really, because I think she was trying that. Because think about this, like she originally, in the statements, she originally asked one of the witnesses, I think it was McCabe, I'm not sure, to actually look at the taillight, the broken taillight.
Yeah.
When she originally just asked her, and she was planting the idea, you know, says, oh, look, it just broke before. And she's planting the idea of him being hit by, he's dead already, and he might have been hit by a snowplow. And she's the one that actually... And she's the one that actually sees through snow, apparently, that someone's under snow, while in the back passenger seat, in the back passenger.
Different. Like,
yeah. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I don't think anything she says, all you can use what she says is, why is she lying? I mean, that's basically what you'll get out of her. But in trial, she's not going to testify, not in a murder.
Absolutely not. She's not going to testify. Her lawyer's probably going to make her sit down and not do a Murdoch and just not do a Murdoch and fucking get convicted because they testify. You know,
so she would be a horrible witness.
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish this, or do more of it.
We got two questions
for you. The victim were at the waterfall for approximately 1 hour. During that time,
wait,
there
did
were no
somebody say something?
no injuries, no cuts.
Did you say something, Audacity? Maybe it was just a video.
Yeah, there's 2 questions for you.
She indicated that.
Well, give them to me. Suck it to me. What are you going to tell me?
Okay, wishful thinking asks if you think Karen was jealous of Jen, maybe because she knew there was something going on between the two.
Yes. My theory, allegedly, supposedly, maybe. Kind of working theory. I do think there was something, either Karen was, because she was known, allegedly, to be
maybe
jealous.
Sort of.
Yeah, she was, you know, stories are. And a lot of women are jealous. I mean, that's not you know, people are jealous. But I think she might have been, you know, insecure and jealous. And maybe that's why, but Jen's married. So could she really, it would be hard for her to say, yeah, we were, you know, fighting back. You know, we had this thing, because Jen calling his number over and over again while he's sitting in the car with his girlfriend. Yeah, Jen was known to be, okay, again, allegedly, not the nicest drunk. And I think she would have maybe taken his glass, or, you know, through the phone, or I don't know.
You mean Karen?
Karen, what did I say, Jen?
Yeah, you said Jen.
Karen, yeah. We know those women. All women know those women. Men know those women. You know, and
just the other question.
One time too many. Go ahead. Yes.
The other question is from LA Connection. It says, look at the defense expert Richard Green has John arriving at 12:24:28. Then compare that to what he says. The feedback is killing me.
Oh, well, then you probably need to jump off and jump on. You shouldn't have
the times he extracted from Apple Watch, it doesn't mesh.
Yeah, at one point in the situation is like while he's in the car, the Apple Watch is saying he's ascending stairs.
Yeah, that's all future. Y'all gotta wait. That's what I said. If I just say, because I don't want to get ahead of, because I am going to cover that. But if we get ahead, then it throws everything off. So, yeah, that's part of it. That's what I was going to say about that expert. Even the logging is, you know how you're looking at timing on your dates and times on your phone bill, right? You called it 5:15, 5:20, called somebody else at 6, but it doesn't say 5:15, 6, 5:20, 5:30, right? Like the 6 doesn't jump in the middle of the 5 o'clock hour. I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It usually goes sequentially, right?
Yeah.
In order. Yeah. His did that. So I do want to discuss that timing, what that question, that the person that asked that question, because the timing is like he's running stairs while still in the car.
Yeah, Apple Watch, like the Apple Health thing. I mean, it's going to be submitted as evidence, but it's going to be scrutinized by the prosecution because it's inaccurate. It's not accurate at all, and it's gonna, the jury's gonna hear, the
They're
whole.
going to get an expert. This guy is not even going to be in the audience.
You think?
No. This guy reminds me when I kept reading it. It's like,
I'm going to jump down and back up because I have a lag.
yeah, that's probably what's wrong. Honestly, it reminds me of She Who Will Not Be Named.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody said, hey, you want to act like you're a computer expert and data analysis person? And she says, yeah. If you read that whole report, exactly what it's like. So I don't think he'll ever be. He's their expert for this, for the public opinion,
Yeah. Let me see.
When you read it, you'll think it's funny.
That's they left the waterfall and were invited to the house.
So to the person that asked that, yes, we're going to, and then come back around with the question.
House on Fairview Road. She stated that she dropped the victim at the house on Fairview and went home since she was having stomach issues at the previous block. A 3-point turn in the street and left. Did not see the victim.
She said the 3-point turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was made to kind of, and I'm not saying who because I don't remember, but it was made to sound like that wasn't, because they didn't get video, right? They didn't get ring video, or they did.
I don't think they got ring video of the situation. I think they couldn't collect it. But I would have to check. But I'm pretty sure. I'm like 80% sure.
From that Beatty guy.
She indicated that observed broken taillight in the morning and did not know how she broke it the previous evening.
She did not know how she broke it that previous evening. See, this is the arraignment.
You don't have the full arraignment? Because I have the full arraignment.
I'm not going to play it here.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I
watched it. I watched the full arraignment. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. But I'm just saying, because I had to clip it. I can't play everything full. What was my question?
Sorry.
For everybody else, this is like day one. This is from the beginning what she said.
Yeah.
And so at her arraignment, prosecutor was told by her lawyer this.
Broke it the previous evening. Morning and did not know how she broke it the previous evening.
Broke it the previous evening, not that morning when she was driving out. She just knew she broke it the previous evening. She attorneyed up on January 30th. The arraignment was February 2nd, I think, or the 1st. Or was this the second? I could be wrong. Is this the second time she was arrested?
No, I don't know about the second time.
Yeah, she was arrested twice.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, because the first time it was manslaughter and.
Oh yeah, they upped the charges. I knew that originally.
And then they upgraded it to murder and arrested her again.
Wow, I did not know that. Well, learned something new. I did not know that.
That was the second bail hearing. I think this is the arraignment.
Is someone backstage? Someone says backstage.
Oh, I got to go over to them. Here you go. Is that better? Is that better, Audacity? If you're having a lag, you don't have to stay up, honey.
The audacity of the lag. You're on mute, by the way, Audacity.
Is she? Oh, I didn't put her on mute.
No, she's on mute. She muted herself.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's
Well, I'm
right
going to
on
go back
here.
over here. Y'all figure it out. Or Audacity, you.
Is this
you
better?
I don't know. Is it better for you? I wasn't hearing a
Yeah,
lot.
I was hearing an echo. You good?
No.
My dogs are barking. The evil dog.
It's the evil dog. That's
Even
exactly.
your dog flagging.
The evil dog.
Okay, well, I can't. I'm going to go back over here because I'll lose my train of thought.
She solved the case. That's the dog.
Victim in the morning,
Well,
she observed
that's
him lying face up, snow on his legs, eyes swollen and blood coming from his nose and
Snow on
mouth,
his legs.
and that she provided.
See, it's those little details that you wonder. It sounds stupid, but some stuff they throw in, they have a reason. You know, like he had snow here, he had snow on his legs.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mouth to mouth upon her arrival. She'd been calling and texting the victim numerous times with no response.
She had to do this part. This is the first one. She had to throw this in because look at this.
Also interviewed several first responders, including a firefighter paramedic from the town of Canton, indicated that she arrived on scene, observed the victim, went to speak him. I hit him.
That was my fault because after I clipped and it was almost 9, I'm pretty sure we all know she told the firefighter, that woman, I hit him. That's in documents. So.
Oh, you mean it's not the lie? They can like the lying people in the house are trying to frame her? Okay.
Yeah. Well, she in that interview with Matt Gutman, she said, I said, did I hit him?
Yeah, she did my cousin Vinny defense.
Weston Mark.
You know, I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk.
Yeah.
She did my cousin Vinny defense.
I'm going to get that and play it. Okay, this I just found somewhere looking around, and something else really trumps this, but someone had, I think it was on Reddit. Yeah, going kind of fast. Sorry. Anyway, they're saying.
I hit him.
Oh, God. Okay. Grossly inaccurate. This is the comment. Grossly inaccurate flights of stairs counted on Apple Watch. I have a new Apple Watch, which I'm quite happy with. Their grammar or punctuation. However, I have noticed that the watch thinks I do nothing but climb stairs all day. I do climb a couple of flights some days, but mostly no more than that, and often none at all. I see that this is happening. This has been an ongoing issue on these forums. So blah, blah, blah. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Hours later.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Is when over a foot of snow had fallen, and boom, Trooper Proctor magically found not only pieces of taillight fragment everywhere, but John's other missing shoe, which was not there at the time of the first search by the Canton Police Department. So then, how did Karen Reed break her taillight? Well, Ring surveillance video from Reed's home shows her backing into O'Keefe's car and slightly hitting it.
See, this, you can say you want to ignore people like him, but we know you're watching him because you said you did. So you are absorbing. Then you start getting messed up with, where did I hear that? Who said it?
Yeah. I watched Court TV. I watched this a couple of times, and
you're so biased.
Yeah, and I did not. Number one, I don't even see like the snow even moving too much on that car. I don't see any sort of glass on the floor. Nothing like visible that would show me that it broke from that contact. So
except I know all but Vinny. Vinny was convinced, and the panel's like, no, I didn't see anything. Nobody saw it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I think a lot of people have looked at it and have not seen any broken taillight from that impact. And it wasn't even that hard of an impact. It was like literally a tap. So
even if it tapped. And I wonder if she didn't do that on purpose, you know?
You know, that's what I've been wondering, because I always like, she's, you know, she got the video showing it, and then she plants the idea to McCabe, hey, I hit that, I broke my taillight. Look at this, guys, look, and it makes me wonder, a lot of things, why, it just, that to me, I've been wondering, but who knows? We don't know the state of mind, but yeah, that seems kind of slow because she has a back, like some sort of one of those cameras in the back that lets you see in the back and beeps if you're going too close to something. And I'm wondering why it did not beep while she's going backwards like that. And this is something that she does multiple times a day, and somehow she, unless she hits that car constantly, just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't bode well if she, basically can't see a car while she's pulling back. I mean, can't see a car while you're pulling back. What's the chances of you seeing a person? So either way, it's not good.
Yeah, but then somebody else made kind of a good point in that why is she telling him to, F off that morning if she's going to try to get by with something? If she thinks he's dead, then.
You ever see like someone sometimes like starts cursing at a dead body sometimes? Like you deserve it?
Because I don't know. So confusing. She could have just thought she hit something and left his ass in the cold.
Or she could have thought that she didn't hit him, and she just basically she was so drunk she just basically drove away, not realizing she just hit a man. And then when she started sobering up, the mind starts working.
Right.
She starts replaying the events, and she just has an oh shit moment.
But then the other part of that is, if she's really worried about him, why isn't she calling? Because Jen was calling him until he stopped. I mean, she kept calling him, but he did stop answering at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
But why wouldn't she just call the house? Is he there? I'm so worried.
Well, how many people have house phones these days?
No,
I don't have a house phone.
Someone in the house. I don't mean. She could have called anyone.
Yeah. Well, what's really weird is why was Karen Reed grabbing one of the niece's phones to call people? That was a little odd.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. I've thought about that a lot too, and I'm sure it's.
And then according to her story, drive around and then waste more time by like basically now having to have the car driven back. That was another thing I thought that was weird. Didn't Deed say that McCabe was kind of purposely trying to stall? Someone was trying to stall for time to find his body. And I was like,
in the front yard. I don't know why she'd stall for time.
Yeah, no, but someone said like the McCabe or someone there was like trying to stall for time. I'm not sure who they were claiming.
In the house?
No, when they were like initially meeting with like stalling Karen from finding
I don't know.
John McHugh. And I'm like, no, they're not trying to stall. What happened was that, she drove a car and then they had to drive her car back because she couldn't drive. And they just took, someone else's car. They didn't So.
Yeah, I didn't see stalling for time.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard in Jason, like some sort of like the people were stalling for time. I thought I heard that. Let me see if that was.
We're going to go over that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to go over a lot of that, and you can tell me where to go on the video because I have a couple of things. Okay, but Audacity, darling. See, when people have questions like this, the autopsy simply stated abrasions. Oh, okay, that's not a question. They didn't give a cause. No, they didn't. But you know what? It would seem like there would be microscopic something from whatever hit him. Maybe not. I don't know. No, they don't. I don't know. If it's a gunshot, they say a gunshot. They don't necessarily always. Well, they would know the kind of bullet. So any questions just read an article that stated a dog bites. What? That stated, nothing is stated those were dog bites though. Oh, except for the medical examiner.
That was the reply to the dog bite.
Look at a picture.
Statement.
Hello? Cherry pie? where are what the Lisa did or this thing has a margin.
Let me see.
Okay, we got to get on the same page.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So what we're trying to do, who put the line? Shut up, skip to my room. Okay, so what we're trying to do, talk among yourselves, that's perfectly fine. But if you have a question about what we're talking about, or a comment that can correct what we're saying, that's what we're trying to do. So somebody said they just saw where it was dog bites. One other person said it was dog bites that was the defense said an expert, Emmy in California, I looked him up, said with scientific certainty, by looking at a picture, it was a dog bite. No Emmy versus Salt would say that. Okay,
I've seen. The only thing I was interesting was that the defense actually has an expert that says that he's claiming that it's dog bites. It'll be interesting for that guy to come from California and testify under oath and be cross-examined, because I don't see those as dog bites.
Okay, if you can show me any Emmy besides Baden, any Emmy that would say from a picture with scientific certainty, that's what the defense said he said, those are dog bites.
I don't think they're dog bites, but I don't think I've seen.
No Emmy would say that.
Yeah,
looking at the picture.
Yeah, you need to see the body. You need to see the state of the. You need
I
to
don't
see
think
the
they're
body.
dog bites either. I got bit specifically by a German Shepherd.
I think most likely it's probably something to do with the broken glass or something like that.
Yeah, but he wouldn't, because he would have to get did they do it? He can just look at it 100%. No one has 100% anything in a trial.
Yeah.
It's consistent with, or they just don't do it going by a picture. They'll give an opinion, I'd have to see everything, but my opinion. So this defense guy, he's just throwing, in my opinion, everything out there.
Oh, yeah.
If she was okay, so what I'm trying to say is, any input. If she was blackout drunk, she didn't have enough time to sober up so much she'd have the skills. Now, the blackout drunks that I've known of, like one girl hit a tree, had no recollection.
Well, at the time that she did this, she was more she was at 0.07, 0.08. So she was sober. She was a lot more sober, because this is when she was pulling out to search. Right. So when she got to the location, they estimate her blood alcohol was 0.13 to 0.26. They estimate, which is a lot. So she would have been sober enough to probably figure out how to do that if she was that, unless she's,
That's good. That's a good point. In the defense, it said Karen picked up. Boy, I'm behind, huh?
Yeah, you are quite behind.
Well, I'm trying, that's what I'm trying to do is kind of, the whole thing is interaction. And I can't look at Chad at the same time.
Yeah.
You would think if she was so drunk and didn't know. Okay, so if y'all see, I'm not ignoring at all. I just can't do two things.
Yeah, maybe best just focus on that, and I'll just read the chat and just give you a heads up.
And Audacity was going to do that too. So whoever wants to.
Audacity.
Tim really has a lot of experience too.
All right, let me see.
I think okay, I'm going to go back over here. Go ahead. Y'all both, whatever.
Yeah, you go. Keep on going.
I told people to at me, and I would read any questions to you.
But I think we're all right at this point. The experience, none of us have the experience doing this, but we will get it. I'm just wanting not to get ahead, but I'm not going to be Gray Hughes and call you an idiot, which I love Gray Hughes. But I know that when I go in there, sometimes I want to sleuth along with him, and he does not necessarily want you.
Well, Slash,
So what I'm encouraging is if you want to add to,
Flash asks, why did they change the initial charges from manslaughter to murder?
I don't know.
I believe
It
my
wasn't
theory.
him, it was a jury.
Yeah, and I believe a lot of the circumstance has to do with the testing of the dummy. Basically, they backed up into a dummy and they saw that the system was working for the beeping and the back camera, and maybe that's what I think. Basically, they think, well, she could have seen him when she backed
And it
up.
wasn't long
Yeah.
after. Yeah, it's not like they waited very long to do it.
Yeah, and it could be also like a little bit of political as well. You know, it's just a dead cop. You know, it could be that too. But I think most likely it's a dummy, the testing with a dummy and seeing what that situation was. But you know.
Yeah, I don't know that part of it. Well, we have the grand jury statement, so you can look into those statements and come up with all the lying. Maybe, maybe they know so much more than we do. Always, which is kind of frustrating when you.
Well, I mean, what's frustrating is mostly just the defense is releasing the information. They're cherry picking the information that best serves them, and you're dealing with that, and you're kind of having to go through that.
But you have to know you're dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the information you're seeing is basically cherry picked from the defense. The prosecution's is not going to go on the media and go on a media tour. He's just his job. He just goes 9 to 5. His job is to get your client into jail. That's it. That's all. Nothing else.
Yeah, and the defense, even the experts that were quoting some, they're for the defense. They're not for the prosecution.
Yeah,
it's all preliminary. Once the trial starts, they're going to actually have to pay people money, big money, to do that. But this guy, Jesus Christ, this guy's. Just wait till I read it.
Tail light is slightly cracked, although certainly not shattered. It is believed that during that hour and 18 minutes, Trooper Proctor had the car unaccounted for. He may have smashed it up a little bit more. So had they
Aaron Reed started. That's where the back of her car.
Even he shows you, like when he back right here, see where my cursor is? Going straight forward is where he's even saying he got thrown back.
Sorry, okay? And you see the line down there. That's where he got hit. First of all, it curves. Notice how the road curves?
He's got another line over here. I was wrong.
I reached 14 miles an hour the first time I did it. I just did it again. I got up to 17 miles an hour, right? But 24, man, I mean, when I went from 14 to 17, that was a big jump. 24, it curves. Like I hit the fucking curb. They didn't say anything about any tire marks on the car.
I wish I could make. Here it is.
seems like the location where the body would be pushed.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Is he's going to the exact location.
Yeah, I mean,
then he's stopping, or he's trying to.
But like a lot of people have said he's in the middle of the yard. I'm like, I've never read anywhere that he was in the middle of the yard.
Okay. I got lots to say about this anyway. So there's a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Think that's the flag?
That's what I think is the fire hydrant they've been talking about too.
Yeah, well, there's no other fire hydrant.
And that would make kind of sense. Yeah, and that would kind of make sense why they wouldn't be seeing him get out of the car, because look at the view of that house. You can't see a person at pitch black dark in that location where he's getting out of the car. You know what I mean? So that would make sense. If he pulled into the driveway, they would have a clear view of him getting out.
Right. Right. And okay, so.
And it could be that she was just pissed off at him and said, "Here, get off here."
I think that's what. I don't think she. I do kind of think she might have.
Because she said she had a sick stomach. She didn't want to really go to an after party. She didn't even want to go in the house.
Niels, can you take the comment off the screen so everybody could see it?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, take the comment. Yeah, the comment. Take the comment down.
Yeah, well, all that she says she did or didn't, there's nothing she can say that is gonna be believable. So they're gonna go by where his body was. It's not in dispute as far as data. I don't know if that's 26. It wouldn't be on a 3-point turn. It might
24. Actually, it was 24.7 miles per hour. Actually, from the report, not 26.
Some people say 24. I give up.
Yeah, no, I read the report. It was 24.7. Exactly. I actually read the report.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, that's why I don't think she made a 3-point turn. It kind of would make sense that she knocked him back if he was sitting on the curb. You know, she made the turn and boom when she backed up. But if she got down the road a bit and said, "Oh no, fuck you," and then comes roaring back.
I don't know about that, but
Well, because it would have been the corner.
It said that she went like 64 feet at 20, and it was at the speed of
Right,
like
and that's what he's
24.7.
measuring.
Yeah.
Right, that's what he's measuring, and he's standing right there, right where everybody his shoe. When he gets closer, you can tell more.
Parks on the curb. So John,
he's not over here in the damn yard.
Yeah.
And plus, I'll show you. Well, let me just get through this. I will.
Is standing right here. Well, the car comes back. So she hits him, right? And somehow his body goes that.
There you go. Look.
That way.
Yeah. It's not in the yard.
Yeah, that's not that far. That's not like in the middle of the yard.
Well, no, and the fire hydrant is over here.
Yeah.
And so why would he be way over here? We're chasing and then we're saying like in the yard, and his shoe be over here.
Yeah, that doesn't make
across
sense.
the bushes.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
this is Turtle Boy too, so even he's saying, yeah, even he's saying it's not where they're saying it is.
Right. That's why I'm using this, because it wouldn't behoove in the, used correctly, wouldn't behoove him.
How?
Okay, I can't anymore. I've been doing this shit all day. I thought, oh, this wouldn't be easy.
How does he get the head injuries and the arm wounds? It's all grass.
I can't.
It's all grass. How about the glass
over
his body? How about the glass on his body? That could, or the glass on the bumper of the car, of the cocktail glass. How did that end up there? Did Proctor just grab a cocktail glass and throw it at the fucking bumper while he's planting evidence? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's and you're being hit with 24 miles per hour. What is the force of 24 miles per hour? It's probably like in the thousands of pounds.
And I know that's not her car, but the tail light is like on the side here that got shattered, broken, however you want to say it. So it's almost like she clipped him. Like it wasn't a full force back here, because damage was on that corner, from what I understand from listening to him. It was like right in this corner area and on that bumper. So if she was backing up like super fast saying, or just going back to get him, and he stepped up, or, like they would have to say she was aiming for him and going that fast. And also he would have gone, if she had hit him like straight on, I don't think he'd go over to the 12 feet over, Y'all following me?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going backwards, but she would have been coming this way, the other way. So and I still don't see how his body would have broke that, but
Well, that's why the accident reconstruction expert is going to be essential for this case to basically go through. But
they're going to have pressure people. How much pressure does it take to break and then to shatter? And, it's going to be a real battle of experts on this.
Yeah.
Every minutia. Okay, so I had one more thing on this one. I think I repeated that. I do that a lot if I get in a hurry. Okay. So that's done. I'm going to go share. Okay, this. But I have a ton of notes. Or anybody sharing?
Let me see. How about the curve in the bark, the tree, and bed? So Skippity Doo says, bark in the tree in the bed. I don't think the bark would have caused the wounds or the head. I don't think he was. That would
What
have done
bark?
that. No, Skip It Loose says, how about the bark, the curb and bark in the tree bed?
Oh, that was mulch, and it's like about 12 feet. You mean the mulch causing the glass to break?
Maybe like I'm thinking maybe she's referring to maybe like the wounds on the arm.
Oh yeah, anything really.
Have you let me see what else? Can you ask how that would explain the injury to the back of the head? He was found face up, but his phone was under him, under his body.
No, because I tried to think so hard how the wound got to the back of his head. Well, if she clipped him, like
Yeah,
saying,
if he was bent like a little
not
like
even bent, because think about it. Let me run this through. So if she clipped him, and he's walking, it really doesn't matter which way he's walking because it would have knocked him sideways. Like, you know what I mean? Just clipped.
Mhm.
Then he could have hit his head on anything.
Yeah.
There was a big rock there at one time. The map I had, let me show you real quick. This, I know I was going to mess this up. God dang. This is from April 2022. So that'd be 4 months, right? After. So this is what was there April 2022. I mean, he could have hit his head on the fire hydrant.
I don't. Yeah, and that's the thing that I got to try to figure out. Though, if he would have hit his head on the fire hydrant, they would hope that they would do some sort of testing on it. But see if there was any.
If he was right here, his shoes were found over here in this area.
Mm-hmm. And which would make sense because if you're hit by the car, one of your shoes do come off.
Yeah, your shoes.
What happened. Yeah.
Now, one Google
and that's kind of a too fine of a detail for guys who are rushing to throw a body in the front to decide to throw a shoe on the ground in the proximity to make it look more like an accident. So just saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking these cops are probably pissed that they're painting them as so stupid that they would throw the body in the front yard. You know? See, like that was probably there. You know, again, it's 4 months later. And I don't really consider that. Is that mulch or dirt? I guess that
looks like dirt to me.
Yeah.
Dirt.
I mean, that's mulch around it. They probably. Yeah. But yeah. And so we measured in 12. See, there's the curb.
Mm-hmm.
12 feet was like right here.
Yeah. And that's not that far if you get hit by a car 24 miles an hour.
And so they're coming out so at 12:45 the kids left, the Nagel guy, and then don't quote me on the time, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So they left and nobody else left until an hour after that Nagel left. Then Jen and her husband took the two kids home. They left.
You know, it also would make sense why they wouldn't be able to see the person because he's over there. Over here in snow, and no one's looking that way. They're looking towards the driveway to leave.
Right. They go right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's also, isn't there a side door right somewhere over here?
Yeah.
They probably just go here, come out here, and then go right there. They're not even coming out the front door.
Yeah, and the lighting wasn't, when I was looking at the lighting wasn't that extreme. Like there wasn't tons of lighting in that area. So, matter of fact, yeah, it was not that well lit. It was like some street lights there, you know, but that's the thing I'm thinking about. It says maybe her wheels were spinning in the snow for 20. Yeah, it could be that the wheels were spinning to catch grip. Who knows? How would that account for the height found on the Apple Watch? Height. Well, I'm going to say this, Kurt. I think the Apple Watch is not good to use as evidence.
Well,
it's inaccurate.
Again, this expert has him climbing the stairs.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's in the car on his way here.
Yeah, and that's known fact. The Apple Watch, the walk thing, I think it's completely just. Defense can use it because you can use anything in the courtroom, but in my opinion, it's not.
No, they can't. You're not listening to me. The same guy that they're getting this information from,
mm-hmm.
2 paragraphs. Here's a paragraph. It's like Betty Day, Groundhog
Okay,
Day.
so they're not going to introduce it. They're just going to be saying it.
They're saying it now because, and nobody's reading it. Everybody, 90%, just like on some shit I went through, 90% of people are going to listen to other people.
Yeah, I read it. I went through a couple of things, and it basically said that he was going upstairs while he was still in the car driving to the scene. So,
Right.
I mean, to me, that just...
they're not going to use that.
Yeah, to me, it's just completely useless at that point.
It's garbage.
Yeah. It's not accurate. It's not good data. It's complete garbage at that point.
The problem is everybody, they're piecemealing this and they're showing one part and they're not showing the other part, and calling him an expert is hilarious.
Yeah.
Kirk 71 asked, how would that account for the height found on the Apple Watch?
Just explained it.
Yeah, just explain it. It does. It's inaccurate data. It's just
garbage.
Really, yeah, you're not gonna. It's not accurate at all. Do we know how intoxicated he was? I don't know how intoxicated he was. I do know how intoxicated she was, and she was quite intoxicated. And she was the one driving, which, you shouldn't be driving when you're drunk, by the way. Just as a side note, through a blizzard. Doesn't show much of your thinking capacity if you're driving through a blizzard while you're at point, 1.3 and point 2.4. Was it 2.9 or 2.8? I gotta look at it again. But either way, I'll give her a benefit of doubt and say 0.13. That's still bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely probably all intoxicated, and that's the thing. And she probably wanted to go home. She probably was blasted, and she probably got pissed. How many people drunk do stupid decisions? A lot.
Oh, you're just lucky if you make it home that fucked up, screwed up. Okay, so share this tab instead. I was going to go over what we kind of already talked about, most of Chasing's, but this was received April 12th. Is it April 12th, 2023, I guess. Anyway, this is the expert, Richard Green. Affidavit of Richard Green in support of defendant's motion for order pursuant to mass, blah, blah, blah. I am a data forensics expert with United States Forensics. I don't know if I sent that to myself. I probably did. I hope I did, because, we could look it up again, but yeah. Anyway, this, if you want to type it in, Tim, United States Forensics LLC, like in quotations. He has a fancy website, but then if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the website, I thought I put it up here. Click on his Twitter, his Facebook. It's just, and the wording to this.
The one with the fancy computers and the award winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you go all the way down and go to his, oh my God.
And what do you want me to look at?
I just wanted you to click on their Twitter and look. It's so they're new. They just started this. I didn't do a really deep dive, but you can usually, the newer ones start there. His wording is what got me. He's going to find exculpatory evidence. That's not his job.
Yeah.
His job is to analyze. He says, and this other company, cybersecurity, computer crime investigations, and blah, blah. That's you join these people.
Yeah. So it's like a guild type of thing.
It's like Chris McDonough's thing. It's a membership. The following facts and information are based on my own personal knowledge, and I could testify competently thereto if called upon as an expert witness to do so. Blah, blah, blah. The part that got me was blah, blah. Here's the following. Here it is. An analysis of Jennifer McCabe's iPhone. I've analyzed the data obtained from the forensic image of Jennifer McCabe's iPhone, blah, 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 using the tools outlined in paragraph 4 above. The analysis has revealed significant exculpatory evidence. Dude, that has nothing to do with what he does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be unbiased, even though the defense hired you. You're not trying to find exculpatory evidence for the defense.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be analyze it straight up. So, are you beeping? Something's beeping.
Not me. I'm not beeping. I'm not blown up.
It's like something going wrong.
Oh, so this is the guy who looked and found the temporary file for 227?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, and he doesn't know the difference between a temporary file and a permanent file.
This guy don't know shit. I'm sorry. He probably knows shit. Some shit. But if you write this alone is such a Betty move. That analysis has revealed significant exculpatory.
Yeah, and Troll Mafia explained it. Yeah, and Troll Mafia explained this pretty well on her channel. I was watching. I think I played it.
This guy?
The 227 times.
Why that happened. Talk about him.
No, she talked about it. Basically, the 624. If you notice the same, like if you look at the search, HOS long to die in cold, it's the same as the 624 search. The exact same wording. So what happens is that when you open up she opened up a tab at 227, and it only took a snapshot of the time, but not the search parameter, and then basically saved it permanently when she did another search on it when she filled it up on 624. So it's a temporary file that he's looking at. It's not a permanent file. The permanent file is at 624.
Yeah, and all that's over my head, and it's starting to split my hair.
Yeah, it's going to
do the same. It's going to do the same with jury.
Yeah, that's the problem, because they're going to just see the 227 and then think it's like the same file, but that's a temporary file. So to me,
I mean, I know what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I couldn't explain it, and someone explaining it to me, I think I'm like if I were on a jury and I had to explain it back, like, why do you think it's, correct? I know what you're saying. I know about the cache files, but I don't use Safari. I use Google, and I don't know if they cache differently.
They cache. Everything gets cached because it's easier to, unless you delete your history.
No, I know it gets cached, but I don't know about the open tabs on a phone versus open tabs on a computer.
I mean, like, what's the chances of a woman typing the exact same term, like words, 2 times 4 hours later?
At this point, I wouldn't doubt Jen typed it. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, I'm thinking, so at first I was going, no one would be in on this. Like, why would anybody be in on it or know anything about it? But Jennifer's married. And if there was something going on and there was something on John's phone, or she just knew something, because cops carry 2 phones. They carry the personal and or that's what I know. But so that would be the only way she would know something. And then, because I am telling you, my boyfriend would not be arguing with me, getting calls from somebody in that house when I already don't want to go in.
They were friends for a while. Weren't they known each other for like 8 years? Yeah, like 8 years.
My friends wouldn't do that.
Maybe you don't have those types of, like, I don't know.
No,
maybe
I'm
my
telling
friends
you, women, they know women. Even my friend wouldn't keep. I would say, he didn't say stop, I'm coming in, or he didn't say anything after what she said. Here, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Then it was dead. But it's just.
Yeah, it's odd behavior, and it's going to have to be explained by Jennifer McCabe on the stand. Yeah. I mean, definitely it's going to be, because, I can't just sit here and say that's not odd behavior, that there's multiple texts, and it's like, because that's going to have to be explained away.
I'm just saying it's odd behavior.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to think that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm going to acknowledge, I'm not closed-minded. I'll say, it's a little odd that there's a lot of, these texts going on, and it's going to have to be explained a little bit by the prosecution. And that's going to be a point in contention. That's going to be brought up. And I think McCabe's going to be, a very, very key person in this case. Just so that we'll see men and women, man versus women. I can't see how many. Okay. So put a 1 if you think
a girlfriend of 2 years might get, because there's already that kind of built in, you talk to her more than you talk to me, I'm your girlfriend. There's always going to be a stigma. I don't care how everybody thinks we're, we've changed and all that. I think relatively new girlfriend. Do you think, Karen, if you were Karen and some woman in the house, even though she's a friend, kept texting your boyfriend, especially if you were arguing, would it make you mad?
Well, it could be the precipitation of why someone got mad enough with a car.
Yes, that's my point.
Could be that.
Here, I can hear this. I can hear this conversation. Well, she's going to keep texting, why just go in the house and be with the bitch? And so I will. Gets out, and then she goes, takes off, and then she changes her mind because she didn't mean it anyway. So she backs up because she's going to tell him off some more. And oops.
Yeah. That could very well. Yes, it would piss me off. Yeah, I mean, if you're in an argument, you're like, I want to go home, honey. I want to go home.
I'm saying the texting, the incessant.
Yeah, but I'm saying like she's in an argument. He's in an argument he wants to go in. He's getting texted by this other woman. She wants to go home. He doesn't want to go home. He wants to meet them up. Yeah, that could start an argument for sure. Piss them off, and then that could be the reason why the situation occurred.
And see, she pulled up. And that Nagel says this too. First she pulls up, then she pulls forward.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going around and going in the driveway, like Jen had said, pull around behind me or whatever. I don't think she said, did she say behind my car or pull over here? I don't know what she said.
Let me see what she said. She said, let me see.
But she said pull up, roll up.
Yeah. Trying to see.
I think she changed her mind.
Pull behind me was the text at 12:31. And then she said hello at 12:40.
Because he hadn't come in yet.
Yeah, she hasn't come in. So basically, and then at 12:42, she says, where are you? And then she says hello at 12:45. She tries to attempt to call him at 12:43. She calls 46. She calls 47. She calls
that's
50.
a little incessant.
And then she that's all the time she's called him, I think. Yeah. So she's called him a lot. She's texting him like crazy.
And it's every minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean it's like literally every minute she's call
Imagine
after
your phone going off that much and your girlfriend's in. I don't care who the other girl is. I think Jen knew something was up, even to the point she might know. She might have overheard something. And so if somebody finds out the fight was over her, or even if she saw something, well, the bottom line for her is her husband's going to find out. And, Snapped. Remember that series, Snapped?
Yeah, well, I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's women snapping, and they made 12 freaking seasons.
So you believe that basically an argument ensued because some sort of communication was occurring with Jennifer McCabe.
Yeah.
And that's why she was contacting her. Then an argument happens. He gets out of the car, and then she acts
something.
And she acts, and then she backs up into him, basically.
But I think that part was just either
accident.
I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I'm coming back, or she may have said, I'm gonna, you're done. But I think going that far, you'd have to think you were a pretty good judge of, I'm not going to run up on the curb.
Well, it says, why wouldn't Jen assume they weren't home and stop texting him? Here?
That's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense. There was a reason she was so urgent. Either she was he was trying to break up with Jen, even by the kids said that.
Yeah.
So maybe he was trying to break up with Jen. He obviously hadn't because they were in the bar that night.
Yeah, they were pretty touchy-feely in the bar.
Well, I saw him put his arm around her. I didn't see her. she just had her arm down, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're drunk, you do overestimate your skills. That's true for hell.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. But so maybe Jen was pissed because she was with him. Like, I thought you were getting rid of her. I thought she was, I don't know. People do crazy shit. I'm telling you, watch Snapped. Walk in a woman's shoes for, any length of time. We see it all.
But,
I mean, I see in my life, going to bars, I'm sure a lot of women can agree. You see stuff, but it usually doesn't end up with somebody dead. Like, she could have backed up. He would have got back in the car. They go home. Fine. It's just that one time.
yeah, and I think that's more of a realistic theory of the case than, beer drinking frat boy, 17-year-old, with his uncle decides to lure him to a basement.
Oh,
beat him up,
wait.
beat him up, went too far. Nobody saw it, and then he drags a 170 pound man. Yeah, a grown man, 170 pounds, almost 6 foot, by themselves, two of them, without any blood getting on any of the areas, like leading to the house from the snow or anything like that. Dumps him there. Make sure to take off his shoe, just to make it look like an accident, just to put it right in the area where they say, and then proceed to go about their day like nothing happens. And I mean, the fun thing, it's going to show that Cullen was home before actually John O'Keefe got there. He was home.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, but it was being worded differently, and I heard that today.
Yeah, they were saying, originally no one wanted to say he was at the party. That's suspicious. I'm like, well, maybe
they didn't have any reason to.
Yeah, and he was home. He went home. I think he was picked up at 12:10. There was a text, and I think that person had the Waze or something like that. Waze or something like that. They had like a GPS activator or something like that.
And it all depends on the question. Was he there when John got there? Well, nobody saw John get there, but he was there, but he wasn't there
when John got there. Yeah.
Well, I don't think only Jen knew when John got, and Nagel.
Mm-hmm.
But Nagel wouldn't know whether, I don't think he would know whether Colin was there, or it would just depend on how the question was asked after they came up with this half-baked theory.
Yeah, they could be like, well, who was here when a scenario would be like, who was at the house at the time when John came here? And they say so and so, so and so, and so and so. Well, if the kid left before John got there, then technically they wouldn't be lying. They would be like, well, he wasn't there. You know what I mean?
And here's the other thing, Tim. Let me tell you this, just for the record. If I'm in your chat, just for the record, and you make a statement of fact, and I say, well, where did you see that? And you tell me to go find it. It's not how it works.
No, like you have to present the information because you're anytime, like the two things you could do is present the information or say, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to say, I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't know. I mean, like, it's no shame in that. I don't have a computer memory. And sometimes sometimes people ask me a question. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that. I got to look that up later. And I got to go through the information and to educate myself because, that's part of the situation. That's kind of the fun part, actually. When you get asked the hard question, you look it up and you're like, oh, well, I learned something new. Like that whole thing with the eyes. I didn't really quite understand about that. And then when I looked it up and I saw a medical examiner, I realized, it was a result of the impact from the bat. Yeah. But everyone originally, when they saw that, he says, he was beaten. And actually, Turtle Boy shows a comparison to another gentleman who was beaten up to him and says, look at them. They looked exactly the same. They're both beaten up.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
it's I think he was, the one that was beat up by like 5 police officers, that the African American person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he compared the two photos, So, and he said, he looks beat up, guys.
Well, here's what I have to research this more, is what I think. Because when I look at his hands, that was like lividity to me. That doesn't look like a bruise.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these documents, and I made sure I've got so many notes, but they said he was pronounced dead at the hospital. They didn't say he lived an hour, he was alive when he got there, because I don't think the coroner came to the site right?
No, he was actually, I think he was still conscious at the sign. I think he died in the hospital. That's what my understanding
No,
was.
he was pronounced dead, which happens often.
Uh-huh.
They pronounce them dead at the hospital. They could be dead in the ambulance
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about
20
that.
minutes before, but I think he was dead. I mean, I think they were doing CPR and everything. It would be in the,
It would make sense because if she ran over to him to do CPR, I mean,
and nothing. Yeah. And then I would have to see, I haven't not seen the ambulance reports and all that. But what I heard was he was pronounced dead upon arrival. Not pronounced dead 5 hours later at the hospital, not 2 hours later, an hour later. So I think that when we get that straight, that's lividity on his back of his.
and can you explain lividity to people that might not
It's
know?
where, like, if he was laying on his back, the
You mean
lividity,
the blood flow you're talking about?
right? The blood flow would be all wherever, like on the back. If he was on
Yeah.
the side, it would be
Yeah, that would be
everything
darkened.
touching,
And you think
basically.
that happened to his hands as well?
Yes, that's what it looks like. His hands were laying flat, like he
Oh,
fell
like
back.
like his hand, like palms, like upwards.
palms
type of
up.
deal? Oh, that would make sense actually. If his palms
Yeah.
were upward, then the blood would settle into that area and cause a darkening. That's actually because his back was darkened from the blood basically settling over.
Yeah.
It could be it.
Yeah, that sometimes once in a while, not little kids thrown in a suitcase way, but sometimes when, like even the autopsy report, had
Mhm.
he not had those, he's using those pictures to make himself right. That those
Yeah.
are bruises.
I mean,
And those are dog bites.
it kind of doesn't quite, and then it makes more sense with that when you think about it, because then
Yeah,
you say the main wound that caused the thing was the head wound in the back, and
which probably wouldn't have rendered him. I mean, it might have rendered him unconscious.
and the cut from under his eye and nose could have been caused by just hitting flat on the ground or something like that, and the
Yeah,
wound could have been caused by the car or something else hitting. They would have to have some sort of person, but it would make perfect sense in that scenario.
yeah.
Um,
Well, the lividity, that's what I always thought it was. And if we read the autopsy report, I don't know. I haven't read it. I've just only seen the pictures. But it might or might not say. Because I don't remember them saying he had bruises on his hands. They could have.
mhm.
Do you remember that? Or did anybody read the?
I read it. I just it said markings or something like that. Like I don't know
Well,
if they
somebody
said
in the
bruising.
audience. Oh, I have my audience. Somebody in the chat might.
Yeah, in
know.
the chat, we're helping you. We need your help.
Yeah, well, it's not just helping it, so we can.
They analyzed it, and all they have said is that it is human, not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Not
Kirk.
the
And the hair, yeah, the hair. They're saying that it's human, but they haven't tested like who it belongs to yet.
Oh, I
Because
think they don't have it doesn't have the strand, doesn't have anything.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they did say it was human. They just, if he'd be cold long enough to he'd also be dead. He died of hypothermia, so why would he die
Oh,
in
look
the
at Kathy.
hospital after they warmed him up?
Look at Kathy P. She says the glare was live tonight, and he was showing how TV isn't guilty by showing clips that show TV didn't do what he's been charged with, but I didn't see some of the clips of the things he did do. He put someone's social security number out, and their address, and their phone number, and their real name, and he also harassed people at their jobs and works and lacrosse games. And he also did a lot of other fucked up. And he also had someone's license plate searched by a dispatcher, which is cool.
Fucked.
I mean, like
He's taking up for this guy.
He's taking up for. He made him a mod.
Well, because listen, Turtle Boy is still getting attention, right? Just like Michael Long did. So as long as you're getting attention, then I don't think it. BHB rubbing off on me. Why? What did I do? Oh God, tell me, Lorley.
Lorley, what's it? BHB rubbing off on?
Oh my God.
Oh no!
Make it
Oh
stop.
no! But no, I'm just saying, like he is guilty as charged. Like there's no defending what he did. He is definitely.
And now they have all his shit.
Yeah, he's going to jail. Like he's gonna need every single time. He's probably gonna need like $100,000 to defend himself because because
no, I'm not overriding that. I just saw I spelled Karen Reed's last name wrong on the title.
Oh.
No one tells me. Don't wait 4 days.
I didn't notice it until a
They
second
don't
ago.
say dumbass. It's
All right,
dumbass.
you got to clip this, guys. You got to clip this. This is a clippable
No,
moment. Clip this.
I just saw it. I'll get it.
You got to
for you.
clip this, guys. You got to
Uh-oh,
clip this.
uh-oh.
I'll be right back.
Now I'm all excited and I can't get to it. Where it is. See, that's so wrong. I'll never get to it now. Okay, well, this is urgent. That's a hey, Linky Tour. Oh, I got 100 new subs. I'm not saying that only because I never go to the app. Right now, I'm desperate to change this title. Oh my God, why doesn't it show up? Boy, this sucks. Yeah, I can't even change the title until my husband has the flu. He's visiting family in Florida. Aw.
When I was a teenager, I was clipped by a snowstorm. Okay.
Is he spreading the love? Oh, audience, I know.
Yeah, that's true. But again, I mean, like when it comes to like Turtle Boy, the guy. I mean, like if they're gonna say freedom of speech is me posting people's social security numbers on websites and their names and addresses, then that's a pretty dangerous precedence to put because, you know,
well, that girl is going to have to be fired. I mean, I heard they just put her on.
Oh yeah, she's getting fired. She might get charges, or they'll turn her into a witness against them.
They're probably just doing a investigation right now.
Yeah, they'll be like, listen, you want to not lose, you don't want to go to jail, you gotta have to testify against this guy. Tell us what he told you. Tell us if he told you to search these things. Tell us what he said. Because you're losing your job, but you might go to jail. So that's probably going to happen.
Well, his electronics, you ain't going to have to sell him anything.
And he's like comparing him. I heard from someone else, they say Turtle Boy's comparing himself to Snowden.
Are you serious?
He's comparing himself to Snowden. Okay, bro. Don't have it. Oh my God.
Like, but he's kind of like Betty. You know, you get this. For one thing, if you put someone like that in an echo chamber and all they hear is you're right, you know, otherwise they kill you or dox your family. He gets that. He's got a lot of subs.
He's calling him a martyr?
Glaire's calling him
No, Glaire's calling him a martyr.
Oh, Glare is? Doesn't surprise me.
He's a martyr.
Does not surprise me. And you know, Glare has probably still not read a single document from this case. Glare is going to have, pretty soon he's going to have one of those, what do you call it's where you put the candles. The hearth? That's a heart. Where you worship.
Oh, God.
He's going to have one of those with his pictures and he'll be wearing his tight shirt with his face on it.
I can't believe this is not reality. This has got to be like we're in a simulation.
Yeah, it's Taylor and Betty, but
wake me up. Wake me up at this point.
Go Turtle Boy.
Like, come on. Like, people need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. B-Tim, Glare read my comment right off the bat because I said you can't compare to with the journalists that have. First off, he doesn't have media liability insurance. Okay, if he had media liability insurance, he wouldn't have to raise $100,000.
Right. Exactly. Cautionary tale.
Okay, if you're a part of the media, everyone has media liability insurance, even YouTubers.
Yeah, well, if you're credentialed.
Yeah,
even YouTuber.
Yeah, but even YouTubers that just like, for instance, CoffeeZilla.
It's expensive. It's way more than.
Yeah, I mean, CoffeeZilla, who does like a lot of like financial crimes he talks about and investigations. He's got media liability insurance because he deals with multimillionaires all the time.
Yeah, and he must make a ton of money because that insurance only really media companies can pay, you know?
So like you're going around, you have no media liability insurance, you have no credentials, and you're basically just posting, you're cursing out the families of the victim. And you're also, you know, which, by the way, is First Amendment. That is freedom of speech. You can curse out anyone. But
no, you should never go and curse anybody out in person, in front of, just
I'm saying morally you shouldn't do that, but legally he could do that. Just like that crazy family of Christians that used to protest in front of the grave sites of soldiers. You remember the Supreme Court ruling on that? They let them do that.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
You can celebrate Hamas.
Yeah.
After watching a girl be thrown from, all this shit that I can't even.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's not freedom of speech to basically. But I'm saying where he crossed the line is when he posted people's social security numbers, their names, their addresses.
Where he crossed the line is it's a felony to intimidate witnesses for a grand fucking jury.
Yeah, like
that's never been in dispute. That's not free speech.
A key witness was Jen McCabe. He harassed her at her child's game and kept on following her. Like, she is a key witness to this case on both sides, the defense and the prosecution, because she's an extremely important witness to this case. And he harassed her. And he celebrated the fact that witnesses wouldn't show up on his live stream.
Yeah, that's not free speech. I don't know where I saw the ACLU was taken up for him on another case. I don't know this one. Maybe next he will hook up. I don't know. He seems kind of picky for a Popeye looking guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, it kind of reminds you of like that old, like, the 1940s, like with the chubby kid with the smile. Like, he's like, I'm trying to find a picture.
But like, look at her. She's like 50s, 60s kind of hair.
Yeah.
Laura Lee, I could rip Swilly. Is that his name? And but this tells you so much about how people go about. Like, I wasn't even going to do true crime. Like, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you see like this case, you see how people go about sleuthing a case. And
they do very superficial sleuthing, like where they basically
they listen to the loudest voices, I think, or they have a bias. I can't believe I can't believe how some people don't sleuth.
Yeah, I mean, I had to, like, originally I did a superficial look and I just watched a couple of videos, but then I started reading documents and I started reading news reports and I started watching the hearings and stuff like that. And I got a lot more of an idea, because it is like, if it can be a little bit daunting for you if you don't pay attention to the documents, because there's a lot of white noise in the back, like it's basically blocking out the facts of the case. And you get a lot of conspiracy theories mixed with that. And Crazy Noise says, do you think he'll get any time in time? And if so, how much? In jail for Turtle? I think he's going to get a year in jail.
And don't forget, again, I cannot express enough, they have his electronics and his passwords and his cloud.
I mean, he's facing 110 years in jail.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, maybe more, because I think there's more. I think you face 20 years per count for affecting a murder trial. So, and they are going to go at him, and they better hope that he better hope they don't find anything in those phones.
They're going to find shit in the phones. I'm telling you, they're going to. That Randazza, let me tell you, his attorney his name is Randazza. I think I told you this.
Yeah, you told me, and you showed me an article.
Porn. Oh, I did give you the porn news today.
Not the porn news.
That's his attorney on the 2020. I think he's ill, actually, so I don't want to speak too badly. 2020 is not a good year for porn industry.
Oh yeah, the guy represented the porn star that tried to sue Trump and all that.
Oh,
stuff.
he's represented a ton of people.
Yeah,
Starry Night, or whatever her damn name was.
Yeah.
Well, so this was Turtle Boy's attorney.
Holy fuck, that's not a good attorney.
Avenatti's the one that represented Starry Wonder or whatever her name. Unethical attorney to the trolls. This guy, Luke, I remember him, Luke O'Brien, but none of these show up.
Yeah, he's not a good attorney.
He's what?
He's not a good attorney.
Okay, what just happened? Well, he's, I guess it. This guy, but this Luke O'Brien. See, you could read his tweet. And if you like Luke O'Brien and you think Luke O'Brien is credible because you lived in a hole and got on Twitter and that's all you saw, but he's full of shit. Like he tells a basic truth and then piles on. And it's gone. All those tweets are gone. I don't know why. But yeah, that's his attorney.
Yeah.
So when all his shit comes out, what I think is going to happen, where was I?
Yeah, I think
What
a lot of people
is they're going to find that connection between Randazza, Jackson, and then Turtle Boy is going to come in.
Shit. Laura Lee says, I'm keeping an open mind. I found local Boston streamer. She's hardcore TV fan, but interesting. You can get the vibe of mass and locals are sus of LA law enforcement. Yeah, I think that's what's fueling it. Yeah, because I think that's
corruption. That sure. Putting a body in your yard.
Yeah.
That you don't even know is dead. That could just stand up and get you more shit than you would have been in had you called 911.
Yeah, or you could have just not, planned out a stupid idea of like, they're claiming
play perfectly into your hand.
Yeah, because I just think he's going to go to jail for a year for 100%.
Oh, we're still talking about Turtle Boy. So.
But you can move on to the next subject. That's fine.
Oh, I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, but he's definitely going to go to jail for a year, Turtle Boy. He's definitely.
Well, you can't ignore him. I disagree. I'm not going to do reaction videos on him. None of that shit. But you can't ignore what he's doing.
Well, he's inserting himself in the middle of this case. You cannot just say, well, we're going to talk about the facts of the case, but we're going to use all the information from Turtle Boy, and we're going to ignore the fact that he's doing witness intimidation in the murder trial we're covering. Like, okay, like, how is that possible?
No,
he's literally in the backstage of every single, when I've been watching like the hearings and stuff, I see him in the back.
He's right there.
He's right there. He's doing witness intimidation. He's freaking jumping in front of, and that's what he's charged with. So that's not defamation. He's alleged at doing witness intimidation, just in case.
It's not he's going to get sued for defamation. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, he's probably, that might be coming down the pipeline because he did tortious interference with that pizzeria, which, by the way, a lot of people were making jokes like, oh, here's a chicken palm for you. That's not a nice joke when you're fucking with a guy's business, his livelihood, to support his family. Just saying. I wouldn't want people to do that to me because they think I'm guilty of something before even a fucking cop comes to me and arrests me.
Yeah, that's not even brave to do what he was doing. Glaire's over there going, dude, you got more balls than me. Yeah, because you just pick on women, but that aside, pretty stupid to. Anytime you do that to cops, it might look brave, but then look where he is now.
I mean, he's facing 110 years. He might not see his kids because they might throw the whole fucking book at him. Like, this is the problem,
brave, bro.
Yeah, and this is the problem. And he's acting like, oh, well, all he needed to do was report on the case and the information on the case and put his cockamamie theory out there, and he would have been fine. But he went way too far with the harassment and the witness intimidation, and now he's paying the price.
Yeah. And that attorney is shit because he's just like every high-profile attorney that finds a willful idiot that also finds willful idiots.
Well, apparently that attorney that's defending Turtle Boy initially, he might get a new attorney, said, well, it was
Jackson too. Oh, is somebody saying that?
Well, he was in arraignment as well. Well, it's okay on YouTube, so it should be okay here. And it's like, bro, that's not a good defense. I can do I can put a video on here and do like a line of cocaine. Does that make that legal? What I did? No, I'm doing drugs. I'm not actually going to do that, but I'm just making an example.
Yeah.
Okay. You're committing crimes. It's called self-snitching. When you're committing crimes and filming yourself, it's self-snitching. So he's snitching on himself, and he's breaking the law, and he's actually breaking a very fundamental concept, which is the trials and doing witness intimidation. It's fucking ridiculous.
You cannot. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, that's a totally
people from, and it's common.
And common. And you would think that everyone in the true crime sphere would be like totally against witness intimidation, because it is literally the thing we are supposed to be against. We want everyone to have a fair day in the courtroom, a fair trial. And if, let's say me and Heels did the exact same Turtle Boy did, I grabbed Karen Reed's social security number, her address, her home address, I posted online. We start protesting in front of her house. We follow her all over the place. We threaten her family members. We go to her house and threaten her kids. Yeah, that would be fucking called out by Turtle Boy saying we're monsters and we're terrible people. But, you know, they can do that to innocent people that haven't even been arrested yet. Make that make sense. Make that motherfucker make sense.
And then on a lower, not really thought about level, the way they do it is like take Don and Candace Wells.
Mm-hmm.
So their quote friends are being paid. Everybody knows it to give. I mean, allegedly they're getting paid. Okay. So they're going to say what they need to say to get whatever money they're getting. Then the people that really want to speak up for Don and Candace, they get doxxed. They get doxxed so much, and it's like underhanded, and we don't really see it that much. So they don't speak out. So they isolate Don and Candace. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're drunk going on YouTube, and they have nobody on their side, and you get doxxed. I mean, there's a lower level of it too. And they just isolate whoever they want everybody to hate. I mean, Turtle Boy does it to people he doxes people that go against him on here. He'll probably dox me. I'm not going to make him up.
And that's a little too late. He could have done it a couple of months ago. It would have been on time, but you know. No,
he has. He stalks people that work in the courthouse. Like,
yeah, he stalks everyone. Like literally everyone.
Oh, I didn't know you knew that. Yeah.
No, Turtle Boy doxes. No, he's been at it for years, man. This guy's been controversial since 2015.
So okay. He's the perfect person to do this for them.
Yeah, he's been controversial since 2015. Okay, and he's been I mean, like I remember hearing Chasing's story about like how she originally hated this guy because he covered a story about a woman who had
friend
like
of his.
a friend of hers.
Right, that's a friend of his. Right.
Yeah.
Or daughters of his, I think, or something.
Yeah, and it's like this guy's been around for a while. He's been very controversial, but he's been like doubling down more and more every single case, and he's really doubled down.
I don't see how you don't look at just on the surface, just a little bit of information that people in this house threw a body in their yard. This woman just happened to have the data on her car that shows she went 26 miles an hour. I'm sure it shows impact.
Well, they're insinuating. You can see what Turtle Boy's insinuating. He's like, oh, it's impossible to go 26 miles.
But that doesn't matter.
24 miles an hour. It's actually doctored by these people. It's all fake. It's like, that's what he's saying.
And if you believe that at all, like if you go, oh, sounds perfectly fine to me, then you're going to read all the defense's motions. You know, they're out, and they can lie. They do it all the time. They lie like hell in those motions. So to me, just believing it and following that belief without, I don't even get that. And there are people I'm floored.
And I'm actually kind of uncomfortable. Everyone keeps on posting this poor kid Cullen's, picture all over the place. And this 17-year-old, I really believe like 99.9% that he did not have anything to do with this. And he's been harassed to the point where he can't even go to college. And I don't care if someone comes at me for going at like, oh, well, you're defending, Cullen Albert. Well, yeah, he's a 17-year-old kid. Well, he's 18 now. That is being harassed by crazy people online and being accused of murdering a cop.
Okay, well, this is a perfect time for me
to explain. It's another case, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. That's what I was going to say. Is the people that I would not go show up in front of their house. Would never say anything to them, like scream. And for one, I'm too lazy to go all that way and do all that. But the same thing, what Colin is experiencing, imagine that shit for 10 years. People are looking at Karen as a victim and a defendant. I mean, she is a victim and she's a defendant. You know, if she's not guilty, then she's going to become a victim. That's the way it is. But look what they're doing to John's mother, like booing her. That woman has done nothing to anyone. That is so wrong. But if you're the mother of a child that it's proven, that's it. That's all. 3 states attorneys, all these investigative agencies. The new sheriff in town drops everything to investigate your shit again, and still comes out with, yeah, this is what happened. $100 million lawsuits. Keep throwing these now young men under the bus. All you find when you search them. Do you not think that person needs to be told to shut the fuck up? It doesn't matter. You're doing this to 2 people, really a whole family. And I'm not gonna sit back and say, oh, well, no, I did for a while. But no, I never went after that person. Ever. That was just said, that shit. But it makes you mad to see what they're doing to Colin, right? That's nothing. I'm not gonna put his picture up, or I don't think anybody should. I don't think anybody should have with those other people. There's proof, just like Colin. There's probably proof that he wasn't there. And when you're shown actual proof that these people were not where you keep saying they were, then people won't, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how they're allowed to continue and then they make a documentary about it. I don't get it. And so, no, I hope that's the main reason I want to see Turtle Boy be punished. That guy should sue the shit out of him and then make an example.
Well, I mean, the pizzeria guy is, I'm surprised. I'm kind of shocked that Albert has not fucking sued the shit out of him. Like,
well, isn't that Colin's dad that owns that?
I think that's his uncle.
Or his uncle? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny when that guy came out shooting him.
Yeah, he's sucking.
Not funny, but he deserved it.
He deserves a lot of things. He deserves a year in jail. He deserves jail time for what he's done, because he's undermining the justice system and he's undermining the possibility, fair trials. That's not right. You want to live in a savage society where people think it's appropriate to fuck up with trials and witnesses, then,
That's in this, again, going back to this other thing. And then it's the same thing. When you have a high-powered attorney spreading money around on the down low, either by saying you'll get popular, we're going to do all these PR wire service, all the bulk news stories that you see, and they're not really major, but there's a lot of them. They put those out for you. And so then those useful idiots will go and intimidate anybody that's for the other side. And so the family becomes, or whoever you're going after, Colin, don't you dare take up for him, because we'll come after you. So they become isolated. And it's horrible, and I hate it.
And the guy's now dropped out of, Collins has dropped, not going to college. He's not going to pursue his football. He's going to do football there. And now he's got a bunch of crazy people, including online, thinking that he's murdered a cop. With no evidence, no physical evidence, pointing to no physical evidence.
Probably evidence quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's like he and like you got, and I sat there, and it's like I seen people showing pictures of his knuckles, and he says, "Look, these knuckles, their skin scraped." I'm like, that's from punching a punching bag. That's not like you broke your punch. Yeah, not protected with your fists. I punched punching bags. I got scraped up like that. It's when you don't have proper protection when you do punching. And it's like if you punch up someone and you injured your fist, you'd get bruised. Like I've punched through like wood. Like I've been in Taekwondo, I punched through, wood blocks. It was part of our belt test. And believe me, I fucked up. I punched the wrong way, and it was not good. It was not a good situation.
Well, and then you have to think, well, did he punch him like all 4 fingers, right?
Yeah.
Which part of him are they saying he punched him in the back?
Yeah, I mean, no professional fighter would ever punch them with all 4 knuckles. You only go for the 2 main knuckles towards the end, the biggest ones, and you go for those because that's where the real power is. No professional fighter would be like punching the whole knuckle, like scraping like that. That would not happen. Never happen. You always
Tim, did you see, because someone just reminded me of it, wasn't there one camera that no one's really said? Because I saw something about a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a ring camera that they haven't really said whether it had anything on it or not?
I think it's the one across the street, but I'm not sure.
The Beatty guy?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I gotta look that up. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I gotta skedaddle. I got work tomorrow. You have a good one.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Yeah, I know. That would be great. But it's going to have impact. Like am I still showing the screen or what? Stop sharing. Yeah, I had so much to go over and it never goes well. It never goes fast. Best intentions. So I'm a trauma nurse and I promise you those were not, yeah. I don't know how you can look at them and think they are dog bites. I said last night in chat, he didn't have a lower jaw. I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was Laura. And she goes, oh, well, that explains why they're I'm kidding. Like they appeared to be cuts possibly from bolts underneath the car. Or someone did try slashing him, with the broken glass. Do y'all think the prosecution, I don't think they would have upped the charges to murder charges if they didn't have something. Hey, Nessie. We planned God laughs. I love that picture. It's hilarious. I just wonder what they have. And the defense won't tell you because, they're the defense. But I've seen lawsuits that are horrendous. Things you can't even believe, but people repeat it because it's part of a document dump and,
Something I wasn't sure of. Was there the plow that came through or was that?
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I'm going to save that because if you didn't catch Chasing and Gavel Geeks reading that deposition, it was so freaking funny. But they read the whole deposition, not deposition, but the interview the cops did with the plow guy. And it's funny. But I'm trying to put together exactly what Turtle Boy, because Turtle Boy recorded him, and the guy didn't know he was being recorded. Turtle Boy also said the FBI had interviewed the plow driver, but I can't remember if the plow driver said they did or they didn't. And that's the kind of thing like audience, not God. I want to say audience participation. That's why I keep saying that. But chat, they don't even. I know. The dog bites is just because they found out there was a dog there. Oh, absolutely. I appreciate everything about it. I just think if you're going to say this is a fact, then I think one time somebody said, well, it's going to be over here it's going to be in the documents and I have them all listed, but it wasn't listed. It wasn't listed when I looked, but it shouldn't be up to me anyway. And that was kind of, because you can't go back on one of these videos and correct them. I didn't think she realized her phone would be taken. Yeah, I'm going to go back over to this document right here.
Okay, Kirk 71 said the snowplow guy was adamant that there was no body when he passed, and adamant that there was a car parked outside the property. Here's the thing that I was thinking.
Yeah, that whole Ford Fusion thing, I don't know.
My husband drives a GMC 3500 long bed, right? I'm 5'1". He's 6'4". So, right. If I get into his truck and I try and drive it, if you're anything shorter than, I would say, like 5'10", you can't see very good to drive it. I can't see over the hood.
Yeah.
I would need like old school large phone books to be able to see over the hood. So if you add a plow to that, you wouldn't be able to see very good past the hood. So if he did plow and there was a body, he may not have seen it anyway. And then take into account it's snowing. There's going to be rock salt.
Well, I asked him a simple question. The guy wasn't adamant, like he wasn't going, there was no body, because he's not saying that. I didn't see it. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, did you see it? No.
And it would be easy not to see.
Yeah, he's not trying to fight with people.
Right.
When they say he was adamant, you asked him once, he said no. You asked him again, he said no, didn't see it.
Right. It would be really easy not to see, and then say he got drugged. Yeah, let's just say for theory, he got drugged. Because I don't believe I got bit by a German Shepherd, that those aren't dog bites.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way anybody could convince me that that's a dog bite.
The Emmy would have no reason. Yeah. So you can't say the Emmy was in on it too. I mean, come on.
Right. It looks more like
no reason.
It looks more like he was drugged across the ground on rock salt and then drugged back again.
Oh, rock salt. Well,
Yeah.
I think he got hit once. I think just because that light, on the side, the way it was broken, if it hit him straight on, then the damage wouldn't be just on that corner. That's why I think he got sideswiped, turned him, and he went backwards, and that's whatever he hit his head on.
Right, that or he was drunk and fell before he even got hit.
Well, I don't think she hit him. I don't think, that's just my opinion, and yours too, is yours. But that's just me. I mean, I can't, unless I can.
I could go any way with this.
Yeah, I just can't go with a dog bite. I can't.
I could never be convinced that that's a dog bite.
And that's not something we're going to figure out. And I'm not saying we can, but at least we're giving an opinion.
Yeah.
That are different. I don't want everybody to agree with me. So when you watch this, like Katie thinks, is that, in my opinion, yeah. So it does look like dog bites. I'm going with the facts. Yeah, and that is a fact because the Emmy said so. You know what I mean? That's the opinion we kind of have to go with. When the defense hires whoever goes to trial, whoever's going to be the expert at trial, they will have to have credentials, So we kind of have to go with what the Emmy is saying. And Emmy said there was no fight and that they aren't dog bites. And the defense can't even get anything into evidence because they don't have anything. He was asking for an evidentiary hearing, and I don't know if did they say they're going to have one soon? Because he wants subpoenas, and he's not getting them because he doesn't have evidence. That's like in the Kendrick Johnson case. Got all the way, they had the most horrendous lawsuit you've ever seen, like crazy shit. Well, so when they were doing depositions, it came time for their evidence, right? And they said, well, what evidence do you have? And the Mr. Johnson, who'd been pursuing this forever, he just says it because it looks like it. That's it. we're doing all this fuck shit because it looks like it to them. And then you have lawyers that will take those cases, you know. So you can't always look at what the defense. That's the last thing I'm going to take as fact. Can I ask? Oh, let me do this. Yeah, any snowplow questions? We have Audacity here that can answer. Damn, I can never find the right pill. That can answer.
There's different kinds of snowplows. It just depends.
Did you see his interview? Because the one Turtle Boy did, he was actually out there at his place. And it showed like he was driving a dump truck.
A dump truck with a plow on it?
Yeah, and the plow was kind of sitting in the yard.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't full-time. He was probably just stuck the plow on it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. And people were saying, no, he worked for the county, and that he was a contractor for the county. So I don't even know what that means. Like, does that mean there's a contractor that he contracts for? Yeah. Or he's just a guy that lives in the house down the street that likes doing it for extra money?
Yeah, those are usually, I mean, to answer his question, those are usually like a semicircle type plow that you attach to your truck.
Can I ask what snow plows look like in the U.S.? I've never seen one. I've never lived where it snows.
Yeah, and then there's some plows that are like, like your regular plow that's a full-time plow. That's all it does is plow. They can have some large scoops on them that'll push the snow, I don't know how many feet. I could push it from 3 car lanes over, it'll push it, and they'll do tandem. They'll run 3 or 4 of them down the highway tandem, and they'll kind of be a few feet behind each other, and they'll run in tandem and just shoot it all off to the side, and it just all goes. It just depends on how rural it is, how, what area you're in, how, what type, if it's for the city, if it's independent, if it's all different plows.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I'm in Northern Ohio. My mom lived upstate New York. It would be nothing for her to get, 10 feet of snow overnight. So,
yeah. They got 23 like overnight almost.
Yeah, she would call me. She used to. She's in North Carolina now, but she used to live in Jay. And she was just take the ferry over to Vermont. And she would call me. She's like, oh, we got 15 feet, this, that, whatever. I'm like, well, you stay up there. I'm not. No thanks. It's bad enough here.
Yeah. I've never been. The one time I tried to drive, and I went from one side of the highway to the other, and I said, nope. In Utah, well, now I have been to Utah when it was awful snow. Hey, Messianic. I was scared shitless. Like that this guy could even drive, but I mean, they have snow tires, and they're prepared, and I guess the ice or.
Well, if it's all I mean, I learned to drive in the snow. So if you've never been in it, then it's one thing. But if it's all then it's no big deal.
But do you have snow chains or whatever they're called?
Nope.
No.
I don't need them. No.
Oh.
But I've learned how to drive in the snow in the country. It's nothing.
Yeah. I thought everybody had to have snow tires or whatever.
You could put them on, but it's your choice. There's no like mandate or anything like that. Yeah, I know. It just depends on where you're at. I've lived in a rural area where I think when I was there might have been 1,800 people population, and
yeah,
I lived in the city, and now I'm kind of like in the suburbs. I've lived everywhere.
Yeah,
literally all over. But
I think people are going to more and more go to try to get out of the cities.
No, I would never. not the one
get
I'm
out of the city.
I would never live in. You couldn't pay me enough because I'm from there. And
From the city or the country?
I was originally in the city.
Okay.
couldn't pay me enough to go back there.
Yeah.
I work in the city, and I right next.
There's no quality of life anymore in the big cities.
Nope.
And I can't think of one single one.
I work right next to it. I have to go almost into it to go to work, and I drive by. I drive down one street to get to work, and I had to drive by, them cleaning up a gang shooting, a dead girl in her car.
That's too much, and it's everywhere.
Like, I can't even go past my grandparents' old house because I'll probably get shot. So I had to Google Map it and take a look at it that way to make sure it's still there. That's close I'm gonna get.
It permeates so fast.
It's bad. That's why they got out. Their house got robbed, and they got scared. My dad gave them a dog that was police trained, a Doberman.
Yeah.
And they still weren't okay with it. They beat feet. They got out. They went south.
And it's everywhere. I remember one time I was going to pick up my goddaughter in Houston, and I was on one side and she was on the other. And I thought, we'll meet someplace there was no place in between. I mean, it was so hard to find an area where I felt safe enough to wait, in case she got there later. We didn't meet right at the same time. So I just picked her up and took her back, just like an extra hour or whatever, because really there was no really safe. There are little pockets like Memorial used to be. I don't know what it is now, but there used to be pockets, but now it's just getting bad everywhere.
I was from really the really bad part. I mean, I'm not there now, so I'm not gonna. I'm from Ohio. I was from the east side of Cleveland. I mean, there was no joke.
Yeah, Cleveland. Cleveland is one.
It's no joke.
Yeah,
you're lucky to make it out alive. So yeah.
Yeah, and they don't, and all the money that gets put into those areas.
Yeah,
it's like they're just trying to
hellhole.
Keep it confined is all it seems like to me, instead of really, if you ever look at that, like they'll give out these grants, right? Or they'll give out to certain charities or whatever, and they'll vote based on their charity. They'll get all their people to vote, whether it's like you have, charities have all different, like it's kind of like a church. You have the members, and the members have families, and the families have families, and you can get a lot of votes that way. And so then they'll get these grants that go nowhere. They don't spend it on what they said they're going to spend it on, or else,
it's the same.
Cities would look a lot different.
I did some looking into the schools because of my kids. My kids are older now. My son graduated this past May. So he's 18. My daughter's 27. My kids are 8 years apart. But I was looking into schools because the school system that I graduated from, it just built a brand new school. And they only needed 20% from the state, right? And the school system that I actually graduated from at the time, I think now the population's like 2,200. When I was there, it was about 1,800.
That's still so small to me.
Right. It's tiny. And they built a brand new, gigantic, beautiful, high-tech school. Okay. With funds that they had saved. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because my kids' school's falling apart.
Yeah.
Cleveland schools are terrible. So I'm like,
but there's no tax being paid.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, how much are they getting per student? I was just wanting to look into that.
A lot.
Detroit? Per student in Cleveland, inner city, they were getting, at the time that I looked, $20,000 per student.
A year?
A year. And then the area that we lived in, where my kids went to school, was suburbs. They were getting $11,000 per student.
Yeah. See, that's not right. Well, the bad schools used to be like in the lower, the poor neighborhoods, because they weren't paying school, the taxes. That's why people would move in different. But it doesn't make sense that an area that's paying taxes.
Right. Well, the rural area, that I graduated from was only getting $7,500 per student. Yet they had the extra money to build this school. And I'm like, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's kind of cool. People are moving to, but you have to be self-sufficient to do it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Okay.
we moved
good
like
night,
2 years
Mystery.
ago.
Huh?
We moved 2 years ago, but we didn't move too far from where I raised my kids because my son's autistic. So I wanted to keep him in the school he was going to. We were going to go back rural, but we got like a little bit of both where we're at now. So I'm good.
Yeah. And what Selena's saying, that's because I lived way out in the country before.
Right. That's what I mean. There was nothing where I was at. If you wanted to go grocery shopping, you drove an hour.
Yeah. And no internet. You can forget the internet. That's not happening.
Well, there wasn't even internet really when I was.
Oh, back then. Yeah. I don't think there was when I was out there either, but we had, I don't even think there was cable, as a matter of fact. But the big old huge ass antennas.
We had a big satellite dish, the big, huge, like 5-foot satellite dish. Yeah, we had that.
But it was still so at night, especially in Texas, the stars and it's gorgeous.
Right. I mean, when we retire, we'll do that. But right now, I have this thing. I can't be more than 15 minutes away from work, or I won't make it. So,
oh yeah. Well, and healthcare too. Like a lot of people need to be closer, to like older people. But
we have a little
it's
bit of
so
land,
beautiful.
and we don't have houses right up close to us now. So we have a little bit of both. We have convenience of everything not too far, but we have a little bit of land. So we're kind of outskirts of suburbia, not quite rural, right on the border.
Yeah. I'm really spoiled by delivery. Super spoiled by delivery. Because I hate grocery shopping.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah. And now I can just go to Walmart and $14. I don't like to get meat or anything. So I don't do like a lot of their meats. I don't know. I'm scared of it. But everything, just about everything else, just order and they'll even put it up for you now.
Yeah, they drop it right off at the door.
Well, yeah, they have one thing with Walmart. The guy, because I did it by mistake, they had a trial and I forgot to get off the trial because I do the monthly, but I wasn't doing, it's called At Home or something like that. This guy knocks. He looks so cheerful and he's got this little Walmart bag and a little card and he takes them in and starts putting them in my refrigerator and my cabinets.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I could live with this, except I don't trust people.
Yeah, I can't let anybody in my house. My dogs will eat them.
Yeah, my dog just loses her mind.
I got one of my Great Danes is 230 pounds and he doesn't like strangers. So
Holy crap.
Nobody's getting in this house.
Yeah, no, nobody.
They can try. They ain't get very far.
Well, that's big, but you have to have a big place to let a dog like that run too.
Well, the house is too big, but we bought the house for the dogs because the old house wasn't working out. So living there for 16 years and being that far into a mortgage, we decided, let's start all over again. So we did. And this house is 4 times the size of the old one. So I have I think it's like 5,800 square feet.
So, but they still like to go outside.
Yeah, and an acre. So
yeah,
the dogs are having a good time and we just pay the mortgage.
I love to see dogs happy outside. My dog doesn't. She was being bred. She had heartworms when I got her. I didn't know it. And got that all taken care of. But she doesn't. When you put her on the ground, she's like, I don't like this. Pick me up. Take that thing off my neck. We finally got her to where she would, enjoy it a little bit. But she was so used to being inside, she didn't want to go outside. Have them leave at my door because they can scope it out.
Well, the dog in the picture that I have up, that was my Doberman. He was I got him when he was about 9 weeks old. Somebody tossed him out of a window of their moving
Oh,
car on the highway. I had him for
I don't
13
know how you can be cruel to animals. I just don't.
I had him for 13 years. I had to put him down in May.
Oh. And that is so hard.
Oh, it was terrible. It was like losing a kid.
It is.
I still have a hard time with it. It was really bad.
I know. I know. I have my last one like 3 years ago, and I had him cremated, and I had the little thing that it came in. It's still hidden from me because I'm not ready.
Yeah, I went to work one morning and he was fine. This dog never got sick. Nothing ever was wrong with him. He had a stomach of steel,
Oh,
and but he was getting old. You know, he had old age, average age for a Doberman, 8 to 9 years. You know,
I
he
know.
was
That's so
13. He made it way past the
yeah.
expiration date.
I
Like
think
he
a
was,
lot of them do. I
yeah,
think that age is just like,
it's just a number for them.
yeah, because I like even with Pomeranians and Chihuahuas, like my Chihuahua lived past, so, but let me ask Kathy P real quick. See, the one thing that she was 2 when I got her, and oh my God, she was I wanted to beat the shit out of the woman that sold her to me because I could hear the other dog. I mean, it was just a whole scam, but she was so thin and her little nipples were like just dragging like so long. And now she's like, people keep saying she needs to go on a diet, but whatever. But so she was 2, Kathy. Is there any like heart problems or anything like that? Because that's what I was afraid of, is she'll get like it affected her somehow. My mom had a Shih Tzu that lived to be like 17, and it was time.
He was fine when I went to work. I got home and my husband said he wasn't acting right. And
Oh God, I hate it. Oh my
he
God.
was old, and you get like they'll get like the big lumps on their outside because they're old. The what do you call them? They're big bumps. They're
I know what you're talking about.
There's a technical term.
Tumors?
Yeah, the big tumors. He had them all over. He was starting
Mm,
to get to where they were just, you could see them under his skin, and a couple were pretty big. But he always did good on all of his vet visits. He was fine, and
yeah.
he had cysts and tumors and all that. Well,
But, well, I never see you in here.
I worked
Busted man.
I worked no less than 12-hour shifts. So I got home and I got off on time, and they're like, he's not acting right. He hasn't been for like the last hour. So I got him into the emergency vet, and they did a x-ray of him. And what had happened was rapidly somehow, because we're adamant about, because we have big dogs and big chests, big dogs. You have to be really careful about not letting them out before or after an hour, before they eat, because their stomachs can flip. So we always took note on what time they, went out last before we feed them, and what time we fed them before we can let them out again. So they never, ever, ever went out at least an hour before they ate or an hour after.
Yeah.
So we knew it wasn't that, but the tumors and stuff had grown internally and flipped his stomach.
Oh, I can't. I mean, somebody said, well, I didn't think it was depressing at first, but then I think it does make you think about, I'm really good at sticking my head in the sand.
Yeah, it was hard. It was a tough decision, but with his age and his hips,
I'm regretting asking Kathy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's fine. She just has this breathing thing she does. She's always had a kind of some people could hear it on here if she was laying beside me. And it kind of worries me, but I don't know. Yeah, Chihuahua's teeth are notoriously bad.
If I had this computer closer to one of the dogs, you'd hear them snoring like grown men.
Yeah, she'll get to really snoring. But every Chihuahua, Their breath is sweet Chihuahua breath for about 5 minutes. Or, sweet puppy breath. Like, she'll try to lick me, and I can only take so much.
I constantly wear a black shirt that has white tie-dye on it. I have like 10 of them because of the slobber situation.
Oh, yeah. Right. Which dog does that? There's a dog that's notorious for the slobber.
All of mine.
Oh, this is a mastiff. This girl had a mastiff. I went to her house. I went with somebody else. It was like for dinner or something. And every time that dog would shake its head, she was there with a towel. And I'm like, that's disgusting.
I keep cloth baby diapers in the drawer because
oh my God, it makes my.
You figure, and they're huge. The one's 230 pounds.
Huge.
The other two are 175 and 180. I mean, so you got these huge dogs flipping their heads and there's slobber flying everywhere.
Yeah, and I can see it like in my memory, like it's a slow motion.
Remember Turner and Hooch, the movie? That's my life. Yeah.
Oh, I don't really remember. Kurt, I hope you're. Yeah, and a lot of people say they don't want to get. I've always had. Well, right now I don't have to. Won't get another one, but I had one. I didn't have him very long. His name was Buddy. Sweetest. Somebody reminded me of it here. Oh, he had the best personality, but way too much. And my daughter picked him up, and she was going to take care of, or she wanted him. He had the best personality. And the freaking neighbor, somebody else said, I don't know what he was poisoned with. They poisoned him. How do you do that?
Oh, I'd be in prison.
Well, they don't know for sure. That's
dog.
what they think. Yeah, because nothing else, the guy was mad because Buddy would bark and he was just an asshole. And they just, they couldn't prove it, I guess.
My one neighbor has barking with the dogs. He barks at them just to get them to bark back, and then they stand on each side of the bark at each other.
Yeah, see, that's why you can't live in the city, because people don't,
He walked all the way over to our fence just to bark at the dogs so we could talk to him. He talks to them. He loves our dogs.
A pit hound, 6 years old. 70s. My dog weighs like 14 pounds, I think.
14? My dog's foot might weigh that.
Yeah, 14 pounds. And she's, retaining water. She's not fat.
I had 5 at one time. I had the 2 Doberman.
Oh my gosh.
3 Great Dane.
Cujo slobber.
Yeah, now I just have.
Yeah, that was gross. And you invite somebody for dinner, put him in the other room. But she carried a towel, she was good at interference. She'd get it. What? Oh my God.
I'm used to
that. I can't. People abusing animals and children, they don't have a soul. I'm sorry. You can hear a baby cry because
Slash said their friends had Great Danes. My Great Danes are afraid of everything. They're
oh, Kia.
When they made Scooby-Doo, they weren't joking. Scooby-Doo is textbook Great Dane.
Yeah.
My husband put skeletons. We have 2 front doors in our house, and my husband put skeletons on them, and the dogs freaked out for 2 straight days because they're skeleton. They could see them through the windows on the door. They're freaking out.
You know what freaks me? Let me ask y'all if your dogs do this. So I live in an apartment, and I have a big patio, and she's got a what do you call it? A hammock. She sits in the hammock all day. That's all she wants to do is lay in her hammock. When certain people, anybody really, but like today, they were bringing me a delivery. I got on the phone with the guy, got off. He said, I'm almost there. He hasn't even pulled up in my little section yet. And she runs through the doggy door, runs through the front door, runs back out to the doggy door, runs back in. If certain people, I'm not going to name them, but certain people will come through, not anybody she's been real familiar with. She knows when they're at the gate. I don't get any kind of notice. I swear to God, it's the weirdest thing. Am I alone in this?
I'm convinced dogs have a sense because my husband could get home from work.
But even for the FedEx guy that
Yeah,
comes here all the time.
my husband can pull into the driveway, and the
Yeah, it's
dog.
your husband. I'm
Yes.
talking about a FedEx
Right.
guy
The dogs
that
will stay
goes to
asleep.
all these apartments.
Yeah, the dogs will
And
stay
she knows
asleep
when it's mine.
and never move. But if the same truck pulls in, like his friend has the same truck, they know the difference and they'll be barking their heads off.
How?
I don't know. They're smart. Big
Like-
ears. I don't know. They
No, it's something. They've got some kind, I don't know.
have a sixth sense.
Yeah, because the FedEx guy is what really blew my mind. You know, because the truck parks out here, they go to different places. And she was running in, especially when my housekeeper comes on a certain day. She knows, but that I could attribute to maybe like she knows when it's 6:30 because it's time to eat, right? That's how, I mean, she jumps on the couch. She'll stay out on her hammock by her choice. But at between 6:20 and 6:30, she jumps on the couch and stares at me. It's not even a sound, Nicole. I've thought of everything. The tires on the car, that's what I attribute to the housekeeper. The FedEx guy or the guy that called me today that just said, I'm almost there. She's coming in and out. I've got a patio door with the doggy door in it. She runs back and forth, runs to the door. It's insane. I understand, like when daddy's coming home or mom or even my daughter, she does it every time. I can work that out, but not the FedEx guy. My dogs knew all. Yeah, and I get that. I roll more than one cigarette at a time. Jessica knows I'm leaving. Yeah, and I even get that because they see like when you pick your makeup bag up, or that's crazy to me.
I have a backpack that I have to carry to work with all my crap in it because it's like a mile walk from my car to I run a crane, so to my crane. And whenever I get the backpack on, they know, and I get the look.
Yeah, and see, that's explainable though. That's like a habit. I get the certain tires or even though he does it with Maria as her name, when she comes through the gate. I get that. Dogs are supposed to have like this super sense of smell, but not a stranger, not somebody that could be going anywhere. I promise you, it's weird. Even when the guy called and said he's almost there, well, that could be anywhere. It could be 5 miles or. Oh, really, Patricia? See, that would make sense, but she's outside. They could, maybe because when I was on the phone, I'm like, okay, or whatever. Just I'll never get the FedEx guy. Now, I'm lying because he is, when I do get FedEx, it's him. It's usually that guy. So maybe that's it. He smells that guy. That could explain that. And also what Patricia said. You don't need a doorbell, My dog. Here's me. Yeah. Sheila knows when it's time to eat. Every day. Night, Kirk. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Is Nicole still here too? Audacity. Thank you for coming in. I was going to go over so much more, but I'm tired.
And I couldn't put my noodle picture in my laptop, so I got my dog.
It's cute. Well, I'll go over to Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. But I did real quick. Just want to fit this in for people that come in. I'm sure that may not want to go through the dog talk, but I'll clip this, maybe. But no, you know what? I'll do it in another live because it's kind of complicated. But if y'all want to go back and look, I'll put a it's in Sleuthy Goosies, and I think it's the first one. I think it's the first document you pull up. And look at that expert. It's ridiculous. Good night.
I've been reading through them.
Have you? Oh, there's way. I'm just kind of trying to do it timeline wise and match it up to, like, if it's by the defense, it's so hard. It's like worthless even reading it, really. I had a bad cry day. I'm sorry, Nessie. You know, I had to put because even if, my dog could care less. She's like, excuse me. My previous comment.
Mine walk next to me. They knock me over. They're too big for all that.
Yeah, you got big dogs. I couldn't handle it. They'd crush me.
They do it anyway. They lean on you. I had a 230-pound dog leaning on me. I'm 5'1".
Oh my gosh. They detect. Yeah, I said changes. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That could make sense. They understand English. Okay, good night, Kirks. Okay. So hard to say goodbye. Okay, good night, everybody. Good night, Audacity. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Okay, good night, sweetie. Bye.
Bye, everyone.